Hey, we'll go here in about 4, David. And a pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to Roncalli football here on the Roncalli Media Network. Alongside Dan Bauer, Steve Wilson, and Matt Donovan. Rob Brown with you tonight on the South Side. So happy to be back with you for football season number 53 of Roncalli football. And for the 10th time, Roncalli comes into a season as a defending state champion. And fellas, I don't know if we've had more anticipation, or when the last time we had this much anticipation heading into a season than we have starting tonight.
I don't know if we've ever had that kind of anticipation. I mean, I was thinking back to some of the, usually, it's coming after a state championship, and you think, okay, we got all these guys back, we're going to do it again. But every year when you look at, or not every year, but a lot of the years through Roncalli's championships, that next year you had a lot of senior loss. You didn't have, what for sure was coming back. This year we know it's coming back in almost all positions but one, really. Where. Gosh, these are the same guys that took them to the state championship last year. Now they're bigger, faster, stronger, and yes, that creates a huge anticipation of where this season can go.
Roncalli's not sneaking up on anybody this year. They got, all 5 linemen back, their quarterback back, the nucleus of their offense is back, their leading receivers back. So we're not going to sneak up on anybody, and everybody's going to bring their best shot at Roncalli. It's like it's like in the 90s and early 2000s where we were just every year we were loading up, and it should be an exciting season.
Well, Southport, the opponent tonight, the Southside rival, just 3 miles up the road. They've got a new situation. Alex Batag comes over as the new head coach, the former defensive coordinator, Terre Haute North, replacing Brandon Winters, who left Southport to go take over the Beech Grove job. We'll talk more about the matchup here as we get later in this Lauk and Veldoff Funeral Services pregame show. But, guys, really the press and a large portion of the ink around this team focuses on 2 things. The quarterback, Aiden Leffler, who's in his 4th year as a starter, a school record 34th start for him tonight at quarterback. And then you've got the offensive line, really the 6-man offensive line with Patrick Meek back after missing most of the season due to a knee injury. You really have 6 starters coming back. You average them together, you've got an average height of about 6'5" and an average weight of about 295.
Well, yeah, if you watch Twitter, they've gone to all the big colleges. They're getting a lot of looks from a lot of the next level schools. They've all gone to camps this summer. They have learned. They've been in the weight room. That offensive line has gotten a lot of press, and it's going to be interesting to see how much they grow during the season and how high they can get, because Roncalli has never had this many big bodies all the way across the line, and all of them returning starters. So, they got experience, they got size, they got everything you really need. And from a quarterback standpoint, I don't think Roncalli has ever had a 4-year starter at any position.
No.
So, the fact what he has done, and it's what seems kind of funny about this is that he's, when he came to Roncalli, he would have told people he was a fullback, not or a linebacker, not a quarterback. So he came in not, but yet was asked to step in, played, learned, has really gotten better every single year. And you talk about putting in the work, and the coaching staff has done a great job last year of really putting an offense in that made sense for his capabilities and his arm strength. He's got one heck of an arm, but he's a great runner, and he's a great leader. He really is, a guy that's a coach out on the field, and a stout one at that.
Steve, I know as a former running back, Dan mentioned the one position that's a question mark for Roncalli coming into the season. You've got to replace Baron Hebler, one of just 3 running backs. And you think about the running back tradition here at Roncalli, one of 3 running backs at top 4,000 career yards. He's gone, and I know you're going to have your eye on how that running back position gets filled.
Yeah, for sure. And the one thing at Roncalli, especially when you have an offensive line like this, you never have a hard time finding someone that's going to stick their face up in there and run hard, especially when they know they got that group in front of them. I know Gore's going to get a lot of carries. Gallagher's going to get a lot of carries. Hanson will get carries throughout the season. I don't. As great as Barron was, I think we're going to be okay at the tailback position.
Well, let's while we wrap up this first segment of the pregame show, let's talk a little bit about the defense. A lot of graduation on that side of the football, especially in the secondary. And the secondary was fantastic last year, especially down the stretch. A school record 28 interceptions last year for this group. You've got a couple starters back, a couple on the front line. Luke Schwartz unavailable tonight, but he'll be back soon. Brady News up there. Really, the guy that's getting the most ink on the defensive side here preseason is the linebacker Tyson Garrett.
Well, it'll be interesting with that when you talk about we'll start on the backside of that defense. When you talk about Papandrea, Dominic Brown, Ryan Henry, coming into last season, those were guys that you just didn't have you shaking in your boots. But then as they went along the season, they just kept getting better and better and better and playing better as a unit. And then Hegwood jumped in there, and then all of a sudden it was like the eyes were open, the skies lit up, and they took off, and they were the strength of that defense last year, I think. This year you got guys, again, you're kind of retooling a little bit. You got guys coming in that we didn't hear a lot about last year, but they're very athletic, and I think they'll be okay. I think it'll take them a couple games before they also get clicking. Tyson Garrett has been kind of the guy that has, as good as he is, we've talked about him every game last year. He's kind of the quiet superhero in the middle. I mean, he just dominates the middle. He's got great foot speed from sideline to sideline. He's very powerful up the middle, stopping the run, and he's a leader out there that just kind of runs the show without being a showboat. and I love watching him play. It's going to be interesting. I think the front guys, we're going to have to get some work with them. We got some new guys on the edges, and again, the defense is going to be the question mark, I think, for the first 3 or 4 games on what does it look like, how does it come together, and can we get to where they were last year? If they can do that with the offense, the sky's the limit.
And when you talk about the secondary with 3 new starters, you go talk to Brian Lauk, and he's going to tell you how much depth he has in the secondary. He's excited about that depth, so that gets me excited to see what we've got, because we've got a lot of new guys out there. They're going to try and prove themselves. They had 5 picks in the scrimmage the other night, so I think it could end up being a strength of the team again.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, we're going to take our first break here on the Lauk Veldoff Funeral Services pregame show. When we come back, we'll get a little bit more from Dan and Steve. We'll have our pregame chat with Roncalli head coach John Rodenberg. We roll on from the stadium. It's 2021 Roncalli football. We'll have more in a moment on the Roncalli Media Network.
We're so thrilled to have Peyton Manning's name on our children's hospital. But we are a hospital designed for kids.
And then the halfback went in motion and then ran a slant route across the middle. Try to get a linebacker isolated on him. I like this beat. It's nice. Give me some more bass. A little more bass here. These are nice. Wish they had them at the adult hospital next door. They have to make this giraffe green.
That's crazy.
Might be right. Let's go red right, scat right, 585, wide drag. On two. Ready? Break. Nice ride. Y'all have these in blue? Can you hear this?
There's only one Peyton Manning Children's Hospital, offering world-class compassionate care for your child. Schedule primary, ER, or specialist care online.
Thanks, Peyton. We've got this.
Oh, okay. That's where they go.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Every day, we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
And Southport opening up the 2021 season. Before we get to the interview, guys, let's take a couple minutes to talk about Southport. Last year, kind of a rocky season for them, just 2-5. They had 3 games, including this matchup last year that was scheduled to be at Southport in week 1. 3 games canceled due to COVID issues. They've got a new coach who's not from the area, so he's coming in from Terre Haute. What do you look for from Southport tonight?
Well, I think what makes it even more interesting, Rob, is we didn't have a game with them last year. So this is traditionally the opening game. So, although things change, obviously coaching change and players will go in and out. But, even more so, it's been 2 years since Roncalli has faced the Southport team. So I think that makes it just kind of interesting. Obviously, they come in with light in numbers. I was looking at the offensive line. They actually look fairly good size up front, which it was good for them. That'll be important for them to match Roncalli's size. They've got some talent on the edges, but it's one of those things where when you haven't seen them for 2 years, and you got a new coach, there's going to be a lot of stuff that Roncalli isn't going to expect because they don't have any film to work on. They don't have anything to go on. So, I think it's going to be a lot for the coaching staff, really more than the players, to make adjustments on the sidelines as to what they see, what the guys up in the booth see, and how you relay that down to the field to make sure you make adjustments to stay on top of it. I think it's more of almost a coaching game than a player game today.
Yeah, we're going to all find out together. I know they come in. They're not one bit intimidated. They are coming in. They're a confident bunch. Their coaching staff has instilled a lot of confidence in them, as they should. But we're just all going to find out together how this plays out.
Well, and the word was that the scrimmage that you alluded to, Steve, earlier last Friday night, Roncalli scrimmaged Franklin, and dominated that scrimmage, scoring 12 touchdowns to Franklin's none. But Southport, because of their COVID issues, canceled their scrimmage with Decatur Central. And the word was that there were a fair amount of Southport football players in the stands at Franklin,
Is that right?
making it very clear what their intentions were here tonight. So to your point, Dan, about not lacking confidence, I think that's certainly in play this evening for the Cardinals.
Well, and Steve alluded earlier, every team Roncalli plays is a target on Roncalli. You're the number one team. You're the defending state champion. Everyone wants to come in and beat Roncalli. So yes, I'm sure those coaches have scoured the films that they've got on Roncalli from last year because it's the same kids coming back from the scrimmage. The Roncalli or the Southport coaching staff has a big advantage in that capacity, and they can put a game plan together knowing what they're going to see, where Roncalli doesn't have that same advantage.
Well, and every high school runs some form of a spread. I don't think we're going to see anything tonight that Roncalli hasn't seen before.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of, not allowing the big plays and make sure you got your people in place, covering their personnel, their strong suits on offense. It should be interesting.
Well, and especially on week one, because week one you're leading up to it, and especially if if you have COVID issues where kids aren't there you're just kind of hoping kids line up right, let alone trying to put together a sophisticated game plan to beat a big, if you're an underdog to try to beat that Goliath. So it is going to be tough for them to come out with anything too crazy.
Right.
Might as well try.
Well, we're going to go ahead and turn our attention now to our pregame chat with Roncalli head coach John Rodenberg. We caught up with Coach before tonight's contest. Here were his thoughts heading into tonight's Week 1 matchup.
We're here with Roncalli head coach John Rodenberg in advance of the Royals season opener tonight against Southport here at the stadium. Before we get into the matchup tonight, Coach, let's go back to some of the preseason preparation for your team. I know you've been very vocal about hitting the reset button with this group, despite the fact that you've got a lot of guys coming back, and really emphasizing the fact that this is not a repeat scenario, but a chance for this 2021 team to be the best it can be. How do you feel like your guys, especially your veteran guys, have responded to that message?
Well, we've gotten great senior leadership, which I like. I think they've bought into that fact. Their weight room work, the work in June and conditioning, it's all been good. And our preseason has been solid. So, and we're not winning we're not wearing state championship shirts around. We're not doing that. We're really focused on the 2021 season because, like I told them, right now those seniors, they haven't earned anything yet, and it's got to begin. And they can't just rely on last year. They got to put their effort forth on the field.
If you think about where you were with this program last year in August as a new head coach that got hired in February but didn't have access to his guys really until July because of the COVID restrictions and the things that happened. This year you've had full access, winter in the weight room, spring conditioning and all that. What sort of difference has that made for this group coming into week one?
Well, it's absolutely huge because I put all my stock in the weight room and the conditioning program. I believe that's the foundation of my program. And we had a great winter. We had a great June. First time those guys were, ever really experienced that. And I think it's pretty hard. I think it's pretty tough. So, I like the fact that I got a chance to work with them all year. The only thing I was happy about last year is everybody was in the same boat I was in where they couldn't work with their team. I think that's the only thing that saved me.
How much have you talked to your guys about the pressure of expectation? And a lot of talk around the program about what this year could be from the outside, but from the inside, I don't know that this program has faced this kind of preseason expectations in a decade plus. How have you talked to your guys about that and kind of managing that?
I've been at some programs that have had great tradition, and Roncalli's another one. And, I don't know if our guys understand the pressure that they're under. They're going to get everybody's best. Because every time an article is written about how good we are and what we do and how we do it, then that's just going to give, feed to our opponents. So I told our guys, and I'm going to help them out because they're going to get a lot of pressure from the alumni because that's what alumni do. Alumni are great, but alumni don't realize the pressure they sometimes put on these kids. And, it's my job to make sure I calm them down and get us playing great football. That's why I don't want to talk about repeat. I want to talk about being great, being as good as we can possibly be, and then let everything take care of itself.
12 starters back, 12 players with significant starting experience, I should say, most of those on the offensive side of the ball. Where do you feel like your team right now is? What are the strengths, and where are some of the growth opportunities for this team here going into week one?
Well, I've made a comment. This could be the best offensive line I've ever coached, and they're in sync, and they've got a great coach, and they just picked up where they left off last year, and then they got Pat Meek back, which gives them one man extra. But I'll tell you, with the team, the thing that I'm really impressed with is our secondary. We lost everybody in the secondary except Mike Hagwood, but right now they're playing really well. They've had a great spring, and I'll be interested to see them on the field.
Southport, the opponent tonight, they come in with a little bit of a different look. A new coach who comes in from out of the area, came over from Terre Haute North as a defensive coordinator. They did not scrimmage last week due to some health and safety protocols, so you don't have any film on them with Coach Batag's system. How difficult has that made it for this week's preparation, and what do you see for tonight as key?
Well, that first game is always difficult, even if you got a scrimmage, because you don't understand down and distance and stuff like that. So, you're kind of guessing. You're trying to get a philosophy of what they do, and you play off of that philosophy. And then I've always based our defense off of being sound. As long as we're sound, nothing should ever beat us. So I don't get crazy with the defense, which will help us a ton, especially against a team. If we come out and play base defense, play good foundation, we should be okay. And then our offense just does what they do.
Roncalli and Southport separated by just 3 miles, hooking up tonight for a Southside Rivalry Week 1 game. Good luck tonight, Coach.
Thanks, Rob.
That's Roncalli head coach John Rodenberg. It's Roncalli Royals football coming up. Pregame show continues next on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to ihsaafoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
Hey, Indiana, let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
You're good at basement basketball.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Did.
175 yards rushing and 3 touchdown passes. He was pretty good.
He was real good. They've had a lot of good quarterbacks through their
have.
program through the years.
They have. The last Roncalli win in the series was back in 2017 opener. That was Scott Marsh's first game as Roncalli's head coach. And the Roncalli won that game 21-3. We turn our attention now on the pregame show to Dan's keys to the game.
Thanks, Rob. And obviously, this is the teams. We've talked about the expectations of this team, how large they are. What they if they didn't end up undefeated in a state championship, there's going to be a lot of people disappointed. And obviously that puts a lot of pressure. Coach talked about it in the pregame show. It puts a lot of pressure on the kids. What the coaches need to do is make sure that the kids understand you don't win all that in one day. You got to take one game at a time. You really got to take one play at a time and really concentrate on that play to do your best and to win that play, and then put that all together and it'll get you where you want to be. But you can't overlook that because then bad things can happen. So really the thing that Roncalli needs to do tonight is to keep that mindset. Keep their composure. Anytime you come out with a new season, there's going to be mistakes on the field. There's going to be checkoffs that aren't done right. There's going to be errors. They're going to get surprised a little bit. You just got to keep your composure and make sure you fight through those errors to end up on the right side. The Roncalli offensive line, when you look at our offense, obviously they've got a huge front. Well, what I noticed during the scrimmage was, Franklin did a lot of blitzing, and Roncalli struggled a couple times to pick up some of those blitzes. I wouldn't be surprised for Southport to be throwing the kitchen sink at that offensive line, trying to get a lot of motion going back and forth to try to confuse them a little bit, get linebackers into the play and up the field to make plays to make Roncalli play from behind the stick. So the line has to really be ready mentally to pick up all those blitzes, and then they use the pass and the run to move the ball. You want to play from ahead because as they showed last year, once they get ahead, they're a tough team to beat because they can control the ball and the clock and make it a very short game. Defensively, as we mentioned earlier, it's the big question mark. Roncalli needs to play aggressive. We mentioned the picks last weekend. They need to do that again. Defensive backs need to be flying all over the field. Don't give up the big play as you're playing aggressive. And team tackling, got to get to the point where the ball is, and don't be trying to be a hero. Play smart football also, so that, again, you don't give the mistakes that end up lighting up the scoreboard that go in the wrong direction.
There it is, Dan Bauer's keys to the game. We're going to take our final break here on the Lauken Valdoff Funeral Services pregame show. When we come back, we'll take you up to the top of the hour and the kickoff. It's next. It's Roncalli and Southport coming up on the Roncalli Media Network. Two plus the open here, David.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Do life, not laundry. Milto Cleaners.
Rob Brown, Dan Bauer back with you at the stadium. Just about 3 minutes prior to the kickoff. Students, boy, it feels good, Dan, to look out the window and see the student section packed and stacked. All in their Hawaiian gear, jumping up and down, awaiting the one of the great entrances in high school football in the state of Indiana. That's the running out of the East End Woods by the Roncalli Royals. The 53rd football team here at Roncalli, and the first as the Roncalli Royals, clad in the royal blue tops with the white numerals and the white pants, gray helmets with the red Cross R logo. Meanwhile, Southport in the all whites with the red numerals, white pants, white tops, and the red striping on the shoulders and down the hips. White helmets with the, I don't know that we've seen these helmets for Southport, Dan, before. The red number on the right side of the helmet and then the Cardinal logo on the left side.
Yeah, I noticed that when they were walking in. I liked it. It's very sharp. The whole uniforms look really good. All white with the red, and yes, the helmet is a very distinctive look. I like it a lot. And I'm not sure, Rob, if that was the students playing a drum beat or if that was coming through the speakers, but there was a Florida State, kind of a, I'm going to call it an Indian drum beat before as the Rebels were entering the stadium, which was kind of fired you up a little bit.
So we are just near to the hour, so let's go ahead and pause quickly for this 10-second station identification. You're listening to Roncalli Football on the Ascension St. Vincent, Roncalli Media Network. Okay. Well, the captain's heading out to midfield for the coin toss. 77 degrees our game time temperature. Winds of 7 miles an hour. Cloudy, sunny at 82 is the forecast. Supposed to get a little warmer before we conclude tonight.
It was nice to get a little bit of rain before the, not a lot here, but on the little, just west of here, over in the Southport area, it was pouring down rain.
Well, we caught the tail end of the front that was moving kind of to the southwest. And as we're looking out on the field, looking at our referee tonight, Tom Thresh. Tom Thresh is our referee tonight, giving the instructions to the captains. Roncalli has won the toss and elected to defer. So Southport will receive it first. Captains out there, Zach Shepard and Charlie Schott. A Schott name is familiar on the south side for Southport. Roncalli's captains out there, the quarterback Aiden Leffler and the defensive back Michael Hegwood.
Have we confirmed, is that Kirby's son? Do you know?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Kirby
Scott's youngest son. I assumed it was,
son.
but I wasn't positive.
Fans may recall his older brother Eddie, who was a record-setting quarterback at Southport, now at Ball State.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I believe Charlie is the youngest of the Schott boys.
Like all the shots, he's got, what, 12, I think?
I can't comment on that. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
I don't either.
So Roncalli, I believe, is going to go left, right to left from our vantage point. Great crowd still filing in. And again, happy you're spending part of your Friday night with us. We're so glad to be back with you on the Fall Friday nights. We missed it, and we're happy you're with us. Luke Russell out there to kick it off for Roncalli, number 9, the veteran kicker in his third year as a starter. He is 56 out of 57 on PATs for his career, and he has made 41 in a row. Certainly have a chance to extend that streak tonight, you would presume.
Rob, I will say, as I look at the Rebel or the Royal uniforms, the big numbers on the back are a beauty to see, because I was watching the scrimmage, and they had their practice jerseys on and numbers that were about as big as my hand. And I thought, oh, that's going to be tough to read if those are their new uniforms. But luckily they're.
As a broadcaster, we appreciate the numbers.
No question.
Southport getting set up. Deep for the Cardinals, number 1, Jihad Wilson. And number 23, Pierce Burge, both standing at the Cardinal 12. Standing deep. Luke Russell waiting to receive the football and get this 2021 season underway. It's the 25th meeting between Roncalli and Southport. Roncalli holding a 13-11 advantage. Crowd is ready. We're ready. We hope you are too. Russell waiting for his go-ahead from Tom Thresh, who stands at the goal line behind the receivers. And now Luke's ready. Runs up, puts a foot into it. It's a low line drive kick that's picked up at the 14 by Burge. And he's cut down at the 19 by
Andrew Stuck.
Andrew Stuck, number 26, the senior special teams man. He'll put the football right at the 20. And the Cardinals begin there. Zach Shepard, the quarterback, the senior. This is his second full season as a starter. His 9th start. He's 2-6 as a starter. 6'1", 180-pound left-hander. And he gives to the lone back, who breaks out of a tackle and then surges his way around left end for a couple. That's the senior, number 24, Christian Van Valkenburg. 23 carries and 79 yards last year. He picked up a couple there. Justin Lewis in on the stop. Gain of 3.
Looked like it was supposed to be just kind of a zone read right up the middle, and the middle was stuffed up big time, so he quickly cut down the line of scrimmage trying to get outside, but coming from right in the middle to the outside, he had to get there quick, and Roncalli did a good job of bringing him down before he got daylight.
Ball spotted far hash as the Cardinals move left to right toward the west end zone. 2 receivers to the short side. They give again to Van Valkenburg, tries the short side again, and not a lot there. He's stacked up.
He
broke
out.
A tackle and able to squirt his way down the sideline before he steps out near or across the 25. Michael Hegwood knocked him out at the 25, so give him 2, setting up 3rd down and 5.
And Rob, one of the differences, Hegwood is lining up at a safety this year. Last year he was on playing corner, so they've moved him to safety, so he can, I think get him into more plays by playing in that middle position to get him on both sides of the left and right of the ball.
Trips formation to the wide side right.
Whoops.
And Lucas Erickson on the right end jumped off sides. And that should be enough to give the Cardinals a 1st down. And it is indeed a 1st down. So 1st down on the penalty. Takes it out to the 30. 1st down for the Cardinals. Senior secondary for Roncalli. Joey Milto is starting out at the right corner spot, the short side corner. Gabe Horn is the other corner. And Dan mentioned Michael Hegwood, and Connor Mann is the other safety, number 7 on your screen. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. Man in motion, touch pass across the formation. That's Burge. He's got a little bit of room before he's dragged out from behind at the 38 by Milto. Little touch pass to Pierce Burge, number 23, coming across the formation. That was that play goes back to the Bill Peebles days, Dan.
Yes, it does.
That Southport touch pass across the formation.
There was a penalty on the play, so they're marking it back, so that play will not count for anything. Looked like holding, I think, was the signal, early signal.
It is indeed a hold. So repeat 1st down, back out to the penalty, takes it back to the 20.
Well, we mentioned Hegwood. He was up coming to that short side of the field on the line of scrimmage, and he came across really well. He was there to make the play. Got blocked just outside, and he cut inside, so he didn't make it. But he was in the right position, just didn't come up with the play.
1st down and 20. Roncalli surges toward the line. And now a give right up the middle, and there's nothing there. Maybe 1, maybe 2.
Well, Tyson Garrett was coming up through the middle, and he had a blocker in front of him. He went underneath, submarined the blocker to get to the legs of the running back. So a real nice job by him playing on the ground level.
That was Van Valkenburg again on the carry. He's got 2. 2nd down and 18. Ball at the 22-yard line of Southport. Early going, just 90 seconds in. First drive of the ball game. First screen pass to Burge on the wide side. Tries to make a move, and he's absolutely popped by Daniel O'Connor. Daniel O'Connor let him up.
O'Connor's one of the other middle linebackers in this 3-4 or 4-3 defense that they run, but he comes, and he'll be stacked on the other side with the safety, one of the safeties usually, but he came across and really did a great job pursuing to the ball, and as the running back cut back in right in his lane, and as you said, Rob, he just lit him up.
Pick up of 1 for Burge. 3rd down and 17 after the penalty at the Southport 23. No score. Shepard tried a hard count. Roncalli didn't bite. 8 seconds on the play clock. Stays in shotgun, wanders forward and shout instructions. 3 seconds on the play clock. Takes the snap, drops straight back. Looks downfield, tries the long ball, has a man. He's got a step. He's overthrown at the 40-yard line. Intended receiver was Mitchell Unversaw, number 20. Gabe Horn in coverage. Incomplete. That sends the punt team out for the Cardinals. And we'll see who's going to head back. Donovan Craig was the punter listed on our sheet, but he is not out there. It looks like Charlie Schott, the offensive lineman, number 52, is back to punt it away.
Yeah, that's who's back there.
And he's back, stands at his own 9. Michael Hegwood is deep at the Roncalli 45. So Charlie Schott.
6'4", 260-pound punter.
Yep. Wearing lineman gloves. Good snap. And Schott hits a low line drive kick. The Hegwood's got room to return at the 45. He accelerates to the wide side, has some room, cut back inside the 40 down to the 37 of Southport. So a nice return by Michael Hegwood. Takes it to the Southport 37, so good field position for Roncalli to start its first drive of the game.
23-yard return.
Yep. Aiden Leffler leads the Royals out. This is his 34th start. That's a program record. He's 23-10 as a starter. The 6'3", 211-pound senior owns 7 school records. He'll certainly add to that total this year. Back behind him in the pistol formation is Caden Gore. Michael Gallagher lined up at the H-back here. On 1st and 10 from the 37. High snap, Leffler throws. Has a man, that's a catch down the sideline by Noah Sissel. His first career start, the senior, and he takes it down to the 22 before he's tackled there. Quick catch and throw to the senior Noah Sissel, who had 1 catch last year in limited action. First down and 10 at the 22 of Southport. Leffler gives to keeps it. Now he throws it back to Lockard. That's a running play. That was a lateral back. Lockard makes a move at the 5, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 6-yard line. We saw a similar play in the regional game at Mount Vernon that Lockard took for a 50-plus yard touchdown, but that was a lateral, so that's a running play.
When you talk about a read option, that is a tough option. You've got to put to the right, you got a quarterback coming to the left, then throwing it to the sideline, and your defense has to cover all of that, and Southport didn't do it well that time.
First and goal at the 5 for the Royals, moving quickly. The give to Gore. Stutter steps, surges forward, picks up a couple before he's tossed down at the 3. Wrapped up around the waist by Bo Lopez.
We've talked about the guys behind Leffler. Let's talk about the guys in front. Sam Seacrest is the center. Grant Ray is the left guard. Trevor Lauk, the left tackle. Luke Skarczewicz, the right tackle. Justin Lewis is the right guard. And then we'll see, as we see now, Patrick Meek is in there at guard.
At right guard, yeah, with Lewis playing on the defensive line tonight. Second and goal from the 3. Give again to Gore. Cuts outside, looking for the goal line. He's spun down. Nice solo tackle out there to keep Gore outside the end zone. Ball will be spotted right at the 1. Nice tackle there by Billy Rust, the junior linebacker. Third and goal from just inside the 1. Leffler on the keeper. They push him in from behind, and he's in. Touchdown. 36 career rushing touchdown for Aiden Leffler. In his 4-year career, he takes it in from 1 yard out. And just like that, the Royals are on the board. 6-0 with 8:04 to go here in the first quarter.
Well, and Leffler liked to do that last year. You get up to the line of scrimmage right away before the defense gets set and try to snap the ball, catch them off guard. And then when you get that big line up front, there's going to be a push. So just follow that push.
Caden Gore, the holder. Joe Curtis, the snapper. Luke Russell hits it right down the chute. Kick is good. And so with 8:04 to go in the first quarter, Roncalli on top 7-0. We'll go ahead and keep it here. And let's send it down to Steve Wilson. Steve, what did you see from the offensive line down there on your vantage point?
Well, it was a great start for Roncalli. They put so much pressure on the defense with the run pass option out here to Lockhart, and all Leffler's doing is reading that defensive end. He crashes, and then it gives him the option to run or pass. And so much space out here. We got a great block on the outside, and then we were able to punch it in. Those hogs up front, there ain't too many people going to stop them when you got first down on the inside the 5.
So Roncalli moving quickly, getting a quick score, and credit, Dan, to the side judge on that Lockard play. He was quick to indicate that was a lateral back.
He knew.
And so we were able to follow his lead and know immediately that was a running play by Lockard that helped set up that 1st and goal from the 5. We appreciate everyone listening tonight, everyone checking in. We're going to keep that thing going like we did last year. We appreciate Andy Clayton checking in, our friend whose son David was a captain here a couple years ago. We appreciate Andy tuning in.
Well, Rob, to take
of course,
that.
The most interesting man on the south side, Dan Brian White, checking in.
Is he already checking in?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good for him. Well, Rob, I was going to say on that play with the lateral pass, what you've got to pay attention to, especially defensively, when the guy makes the motion, that's a backwards pass. If he drops it, it's a live ball. So you can either pick that up and continue to run, or cover it, or the defense could scoop it up and run, because it looks like a pass, it feels like a pass, but it is not a pass, and it has all the running rules.
Luke Russell out to kick it off again. Hit a low squibber in his first effort tonight. Takes the run up. Hits this one a little higher and a little stronger. It's taken by Burge at the 13. Cutting back toward the middle of the field.
Wow.
And he's tossed down
What
again
a
by
hit.
Andrew Stuck.
That was a one-handed tackle as he dove and just head first, just put that arm out and muscled him down.
2 kickoffs, 2 solo tackles for the senior Andrew Stuck. In impressive fashion. Out to the 26, the Cardinals begin their second possession of the night.
First attempt for the Cardinals, the 26-yard line.
Dean Beer, our friend, checking in as well. Roncalli faked coming to the line pre-snap. Now Shepard peels back and looks over at the sideline. Has plenty of time on the play clock, 14. Late pitch to Van Valkenburg. He tries to find a little space, and he's escorted out of bounds after a pickup of about 2 by Joey Milto. Actually give him 3 out to the 29, so a gain of 3 for Van Valkenburg. Second down and 7 at the Southport 29. Again, Van Valkenburg on the carry, and he tries to move the pile. He gets out across the 30 before he's stood up by a couple Royals. Michael Hegwood among them. Daniel O'Connor in there as well.
O'Connor was the first one there, but the Southport, to their credit, they're doing a good job of making some seams through the middle. The running back was just kind of patient, got the ball, sat a little bit, let the seam open up, and then he tried to hit that seam that came through there. Now O'Connor came up quickly and made it a short-lived seam. So the defense did what they needed to do, but Southport is getting a little movement out of Roncalli.
Giving 4 on the play, 3rd down and 3 at the Southport 33. Shepard milling around, pre-snap has to hurry, just barely got the play off. Fakes, now rolls, has time. Looks, throws toward the sideline, and it is knocked out of bounds, and actually the pass was out of bounds anyway. Intended for number 82, Brandon Riddle, but that was overthrown, and Riddle had no chance to bring that down in play. That sends the punt team out again. Another first 3 and out of the night for the Roncalli defense.
Yeah, Shepard changed the play at the line of scrimmage. That's what took so long to get going. He was trying to do kind of a little fake run to the right, spin around, and throw it deep, thinking he might have a home run ball. Roncalli's defensive back didn't bite for it. He actually had Riddle open. He just did a little out route from his tight end position. If he threw it to him earlier on a rope, they would have gotten the first down. But instead, he waited looking for the home run ball. And then by the time he threw it there, I think he was trying to throw it away and just left it short. And Riddle tried to tight rope the corner and tried to bring it in, but not enough.
Well, Southport calls time. We've got a couple breaks to hit here in the first half, so we'll go ahead and take one right now. We'll step out for 30 seconds and come right back. It's Roncalli football on the Roncalli Media Network. alongside Dan Bauer, Steve Wilson, and Matt Donovan. Rob Brown with you tonight.
They're calling a player over from the sideline, so it looks like they've got some something up their sleeve here. And I think it's the old adage: you're already down 1 touchdown to a powerhouse. They might be trying something cute, trying to pick up the 4 yards that are left there to try to regain possession. Now they're in the punt formation, so it doesn't show anything. But
shot is back at the 19 to punt it away. Michael Hegwood stands at his own 33.
Yeah, they're punting.
And a high kick, a good kick. Hegwood comes up, takes it at the 38 and slips. And he's able to get out across the 40, and that's it. A flag flies in very late behind the play. Let's see what this is. Hegwood slipped, lost his footing at the 38. We've got a flag down, however, and a block in the back on Roncalli. So that will back the return up once they put the football down. We'll sort that out. Appreciate Austin Diaz, Roncalli class of 17, listening tonight over in Dayton. Appreciate him being with us tonight. Larry Stimson listening. Hope he gets better soon. Look forward to seeing him out at the stadium. He's home taking in the YouTube feed tonight. The Papandrea is all taking in things over at Wabash. Wish Ryan some success, much success over at Wabash as he starts his football career. I think there's 3 players from that team last year, Dan, playing on the Wabash program this year. In Ryan Papandrea, Owen Volk, Sean Sinovic. So the penalty takes it back to the 31.
I'd like to go see a Wabash game at some point.
It's been a long time since I've seen one. So 1st and 10 at the 31 after the penalty. Royals backed up there. New Pal leads Decatur Central early in 5A action. A couple of top 10 teams. 7-0. Delayed give to Gore. He's got a seam, and he's out across the 40 before he's upended. But he's got a first down as he soared across the line to gain, which was the 41. Giving the 42 a pickup of 11 and a first down for Caden Gore on the carry. Oh, my. First and 10 at the 42. Halfway through the first quarter, Roncalli leads 7-0. Leffler again to Gore. He waits. He spins out of one tackle. And before he's brought down by a trio of Cardinals at the 49. So a nice first down run by Caden Gore. Gain of 7 out to the Roncalli 49. And Dan, right now, Michael Gallagher in that comfortable H-back spot for him. And Caden Gore getting the bulk of the carries here in the first quarter.
Gallagher knows what he's doing in that spot.
2nd down and 3. Let's see if the Royals put it in the air. 2 receivers in the pattern. Extra lineman. Gore runs the short side. He's got room. Stiff arms a man at the 40 before he's knocked out of bounds in Cardinal territory at the 35-yard line. Another first down run for Caden Gore.
Well, a great read
down to the 35 and a first down.
Great read by Caden as the line kind of moved to the opposite side of where the play was kind of designed just to the left of center. He bounced it out to the outside because the seam, they pushed the seam, the line pushed it all down in that zone read, creating the hole outside. He read it and went right to the daylight.
Leffler rolls to his right, looking downfield. Fires it to Lockhart over his head. Downfield at the 20, incomplete. Lockhart overthrown. Incomplete, 2nd down. 2nd down and 10 at the 35. Appreciate Father Wilmuth checking in tonight. Always good to know Father Wilmuth's listening over at the Hermitage, the Herm as they call it.
I believe he's listening with Grandpa Hillen. Grandpa Hillen's at the Hermitage this year.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And so he's I think they've comboed up and might be watching together.
Okay. Hello to both. That's awesome. Delayed give up the middle.
Boy.
That's Luke Hansen around left end. He's inside the 10 before he's inside the 15 before he's knocked out of bounds.
And
that's Luke Hansen and Julie Albertson.
Speaking of Grandpa
One of the teachers
Hillen,
down the side just got knocked, decleated by Luke Hansen down at the 13 as he was knocked out of bounds.
the guy furthest down the field hitting the last block was big number 70, Luke Scartweet, which is Grandpa Hillen's grandsons, one of his grandsons. So that's a long way out for a tackle to be getting.
Give to Hansen again. He covers the football. He's up the middle, seeking the goal line. He's
close.
And they spot him down just shy. Just shy of the goal line, but that's a first down. They could get a first down, and they did. Had to get inside the 3 to do it. But now the ball's at the 1, first and goal. Inside the 5-minute mark. Luke Hansen, the junior, doing the running back damage here at the back end of this drive, trying to make the lead 2 touchdowns. He takes the give again, and he walks it in. Oh, my. Luke Hansen walked it in.
I don't know if you saw Michael Gallagher. He completely pancaked a linebacker right in front of the hole. That you had 2 guys pulling. Well, one of them was Michael Gallagher following. He was the second one through. He caught the guy by surprise and lifted him and landed him as the running back went by. You don't see a H-back getting pancakes that often.
Well, and Sam Seacrest and Grant Ray absolutely decleated 6'3", 333-pound Bo Lopez at the goal line. Here's Russell on for the extra point. Plenty of leg right down the chute. Kick is good. So Roncalli, 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. 4:48 to go here in the first quarter. We'll go ahead and keep it here. We'll be back with you tomorrow afternoon for girls soccer action at 12:30. And watch that match on the Roncalli YouTube channel. 12:30 kick between the Royals and the Columbus East Olympians. Rick Diaz checking in from the Daytona Airport, watching the game. You know, in a couple weeks when the Royals are back here at home in Week 4 against Columbus North, Rick will be back in his customary spot, leading the chain crew across the way on the visiting sideline. Rick has a safe trip home. Big group on Father Tim Witascala's patio over at St. Mark taking in the game tonight. Young Ben Casero, Roncalli class of 35, is there. Patrick Moose Belch watching Uncle Chris coach from the Indies North Side. All taking in tonight's action.
Stephen Maureen Bauer up in Frankenmuth, Michigan.
Nice.
Listening to the game.
I like it.
Shout out to them.
David and Angie Toner checking in from Dallas down there to watch the Texans and Cole Toner play tomorrow night. Appreciate them spending a little time with us this evening. 14-0 the score. 2 possessions for Roncalli, 2 scores. Luke Russell on to kick it away again. Andrew Stuck has had 2 spectacular special teams tackles here to start the season. See if he can run down and get another one here. Burge and Wilson are deep for the Cardinals. Russell gets a high kick this time, and Wilson retreats and takes it at his own 4. Up the far hash, straight ahead. Spins out of 1 tackle, flag flies in, and Wilson's driven back out across the 20. And Nolan Tunney hustling down to make the play. Let's see.
Joey Milto on that too?
That was 17, Andrew Ball also in on that play.
Okay.
And Milto was out there as well. I think this penalty is going to be on the Cardinals. That's certainly the way the officials are acting. Yep, block in the back. Block in the back. We'll back the Cardinals up. We mentioned Matt Donovan's alongside, handling our stats this year. Want to give a thank you to Bob Susmichael, who had to step away. Work commitment issues were a little too unwieldy to navigate, but Bob was our stat guy for 6 years, did a great job, and we miss having him around. But the pride of Peoria is here, and we press on. 1st and 10 at the 10 after the penalty. Shepard looks, throws. Ooh, through all sorts of traffic,
that was
broken up.
busy in the middle.
Boy, there were 4 blue shirts that had a hand on that potentially. Intended receiver, it falls incomplete, was Brandon Riddle, number 82. But boy, that was awfully close. There were 4 defenders there, Dan, that maybe could have made a play on that football.
Yeah, I think the ball got there so fast that I don't think any of them were really ready to pick and go. But even the receiver didn't look like he was ready to catch the ball, even if it got through all that.
Well, that's certainly the quickest that Shepard has gotten the ball out. 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. 10 seconds on the play clock. Shepard looking down the line to change the play with his receivers. Takes the snap. Gives to Van Valkenburg on the delay. He's tripped up at the line of scrimmage on a nice play by Daniel O'Connor, active again. And he tripped up Van Valkenburg, who fell forward. I think they gave him No, they didn't. They gave him one. They gave him one. The ball's out across the 10, so officially that's a 1-yard gain. 3rd down and 9.
I said that it goes in the stats as 1, but it is a ball length at most.
That may be generous.
Yeah.
3rd down and 9. Royals trying to get the Cardinals off the field here for the second straight 3 and out. Shepard drops.
Oh,
Flushed,
pressure.
Rolling at the goal line, points downfield, throws downfield,
he's
has
got
a man.
Ooh.
Unversaw was open at the 35, and he was overthrown. Boy, Unversaw had some room to ramble down the sideline, but the ball was just overthrown. Incomplete. So the Royals get another stop. Unversaw, number 20, the intended receiver.
Well, I don't think Unversaw really realized that there was nobody behind him because he kind of let up on his run. So I think he was kind of torn in between. Do I go back to the quarterback? But I think the quarterback's looking and seeing the daylight behind him and just throwing it over him. So just a little miscommunication early in the season.
This sets up a potential short field for the Royals. Shot is 4 yards deep in his end zone to punt this one away. High snap, minimal rush, and a short twisting kick. Hegwood comes up, calls for fair catch at the 35. We need to take a quick break. We'll step out quickly for 30 seconds and come right back. Royals will have the ball when we return after 30 seconds on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network. Back to action, and on 1st and 10, a pass downfield the 11 that was underthrown. Gore tried to come back to it, but it's ruled that he trapped it. So the pass is incomplete. But Gore had a seam there, Dan.
He did.
And Leffler was tapping his chest because he knew that Gore had worked his way via the route to get into a nice spot. So Gore is now a slot receiver on this possession where he handled the bulk of the carries. In the previous possession, Michael Gallagher in there at the tailback spot, moving from the H. 2nd and 10. Leffler fakes, throws in the short flat to Lockhart. He cuts outside, he cuts upfield. He's got room. He's popped out of bounds after he was already out of bounds by number 2, Tequan Taylor, and I believe they're going to tack on some extra yardage there.
Yeah, I think he was a step or two into the white area. And
so Lockhart was knocked out of bounds. He had a first down anyway. Knocked out of bounds. They marked that at the 23. So it's a 12-yard catch, and then they'll put some penalty yardage on the back end of the play on the personal foul on Tequan Taylor. It is indeed a personal foul.
Yeah, it's a 15-yard penalty, but because they're so close and inside the red zone there, they shorten the distance just slightly, so they're giving them, about 12 or 13 yards.
Yeah, half the distance. So the penalty takes it down to the 11. 1st and 10. Royals can get a first down here and not a touchdown. They get inside the 2. Give to Gore. Fakes, ankle tackled at the 9. Nice one-on-one tackle there by Zach Riddle, the defensive end. Number 93 for those of you watching along with us.
Yeah, Zach and Brandon are both really good-looking athletes. They're tall and lean, and they can move pretty well. I assume they're brothers.
Yes. 2nd down and 7 at the 8. High snap to Leffler. He rolls right to the wide side, looking in the end zone. Nothing's there. He'll tuck it in, get upfield, and he's twisted out of bounds right at the marker. Knocked out of bounds by Taylor. And let's see if they gave him the first down. They did. First down. So Leffler knocked out of bounds. Officially, the ball's at the 1. So 1st and goal at the 1.
That's not a play you normally want your quarterback running and ending, but Leffler's not a normal quarterback, and he ended that like a fullback, lowering the shoulder and trying to get a touchdown.
Even his freshman year, he ran that way. 1st and goal at the 1. Leffler gives to Gore, covers the football through the traffic, and he walks it in. Touchdown. 3rd rushing touchdown of the night all from 1 yard out from 3 different players. First Leffler, then Hansen, now Gore. And it's 20-0 Royals with 2:50 to go here in the first quarter.
Offense efficiency, really. They're doing a great job of getting the ball in there, using the pass, using the run, really kind of showing all of the different elements that they have in the repertoire and leaving it at the 1 yard line so they can give 3 different guys a touchdown.
Luke Russell on to kick it up for the PAT, looking for 3 out of 3. And he's got it. So Russell with the kick makes it 21-0. And so, Dan, 3 possessions, 3 one-yard touchdowns, and really, I think the story so far, and we'll send it down to Steve Wilson here in a minute to get his feedback, but the story so far is just the push that the offensive line is getting for Roncalli.
That, and actually, one of the question marks, Rob, we had was the defense. What's defense going to do? Defense has done a great job of forcing Southport to punt the ball, and Hagewood's done a good job of anything that's too deep, running it up, getting Roncalli possession in short yardage. So the line's done a great job, but they've only had short yardage to go. So when you add in great field position and a strong line, you're going to end up with a 21-0 lead for the first quarter.
Well, and take that a step further, the only first down the Cardinals have thus far was on a penalty.
A penalty, yeah.
When the Royals jumped offside on 3rd and 5.
On the first possession.
First possession, right. They've been 3 and out in the 2 cents. So Luke Russell coming out to kick it away. And after this play, we're going to send it down to Steve Wilson here as soon as we get this kickoff taken care of. George and Chris McGinsey checking in tonight. Continued thoughts go out to their son Reese, who's had his health issues this summer, but every time I see pictures of that kid, Dan, he's got a smile on his face. And you know he's battling, fouling off pitches. So, Reese, we're thinking about you.
Yep.
2:50 to go, first quarter.
Attitude puts you in a good place.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Never seen that kid since the first time I met him as a freshman without a smile on his face. Russell on to kick it away. High twisting kick that sends Wilson back to the 6. Angles to the wide side, gets away from Stuck. Stop and go move. He gets out of a Justin Lowry tackle, and then Andrew Ball brings him down at the 22. Boy, Stuck almost got another one there, and Wilson just accelerated away from it.
You don't really say this very often, but Roncalli's got some absolute studs on that kickoff uniform. You just mentioned guys that he just missed him. He just missed him. All those guys have made names for themselves on these kickoff units, not only this year, but in the years past. And Roncalli's got a whole boat of them out there. That's exciting.
Franklin Central, next week's opponent, across the way in Franklin Township, leads Perry Meridian 7-0. It's 21-0 our score. Roncalli on top, 1st and 10 Cardinals at their own 23. Shepard gives to a new back into the game. And a flag flies in, knocked out of bounds right at the 25. That's Josiah Ottinger, number 13, is the ball carrier.
Well, on the edge, Nolan Tooney was setting the edge, and Riddle, the tight end, had him in a death grip. So referee picked it up, tossed the flag, and they'll be holding here.
So looking to march this penalty off.
Unless you decline it.
I think Roncalli declined it. So 2nd down and 10. No gain for Ottinger on that carry. Ottinger in to give a break to Christian Van Valkenburg. 2nd down and 10. Burge in motion across the formation. Shepard sets up for a screen pass. Caught in the flat, short side. Breaking a tackle and surging his way out near the 30 is number 2, Taquan Taylor, before he's knocked out of bounds by Joey Milto. Let's see where they put the football down at the 30. So give Taylor a gain of 8 on that catch and run. 3rd down and call it 3. 3rd down and 3. Line to gain is the 33. Shortest 3rd down conversion opportunity the Cardinals have had tonight. Inside 2 minutes, first quarter. Shepard fakes, throws over the middle, incomplete. Overthrown. Had a man at the 40. intended receiver was Brandon Riddle, number 82. But the pass way too high. Connor Mann, number 7, in coverage. And now shot back to punt it away again. The third straight 3-and-out for the Cardinal offense.
Milto provided a little bit of, hey, I'm coming after you on a little blitz from the short side of the field. They're number 2. Who's the number 2 for them? They did a good job picking it up.
That was Taquan Taylor.
He did a good job picking up the blitz, but quarterback saw him. That's what I think caused the airmail because he was trying to get rid of it fast.
Well, now Southport going to go for it here on 4th down and 3. Shepard will quick kick it, and he shanks it. Roncalli gets away from it. Shepard punts it away, and the ball will roll to the stop at the 41 of Roncalli. Royals start action there with 1:44 to go in the first. We'll go ahead and stay right here and send it down to Steve Wilson. Steve, what have you seen? Dan talked earlier about the Roncalli's defense. What has impressed you so far with Roncalli's defense tonight?
Well, they have been very active. The D-line and the linebackers. Coach Rodenberg's known for playing a lot of base defense. He hadn't played a lot of base defense tonight. He's sending people and twisting defensive linemen on almost every play. And Roncalli has been really solid, really secure on the tackles. Daniel O'Connor's making plays everywhere.
So this is the 4th possession of the night for Roncalli. Scored on the previous 3. 1st and 10 at the Roncalli 41. Fake, pitch out in the flat. It's caught, and flags fly all over the place. The catch is made by Dylan Coughlin, number 81. He's got the catch, but flags flying. Coughlin tackled at the 20, at the 45. But there's a hold on Roncalli, and that'll back it up. So Coughlin, the junior, number 81, getting his first opportunity.
And the start of that hold was just behind the line of scrimmage, so it'll take it back to the 30-yard line. Be about from the line of scrimmage, about 11-yard loss. Roncalli gets up to the line of scrimmage, trips to the left.
1st and 21 after the penalty. First and 21 on the penalty at the 30. 1:26 left in the first quarter. Roncalli leads 21-0. 10 seconds on the play clock. Plenty of time for Loeffler to get the offense organized. Takes the snap, fakes, looks, throws in the flat. Lockhart's got a diving catch, but he had to go to his seat to make it. So he's down immediately. Loeffler hit as he let it go. Catch was made out at the 33, so just a pickup of 3.
They had a safety blitz on. Ramon Pham got to him as he was hitting Loeffler, that is. So Loeffler was in his release, but it was going backwards because of the hit, which I think took a little bit off the ball and forced the receiver to go to the ground to get it.
2nd down and 18. Loeffler rolls. Inside slant to Lockhart. He's got a little bit of room. He breaks the tackle. He's down the sideline. He spins out across the 50 before he's tackled at the Southport 46 for a 1st down. Well, you get it out to Lockhart in space, and he's going to make something happen.
When Trevor Lauk was protecting the backside there, as you say, from the left tackle spot, and they had a guy coming around the edge, and Lauk just took his forearms and gave him a 2-hand shuck. He was on a beeline about 8 yards down the field after getting a heavy-handed push.
Well, they say Lockhart stepped out at the 49, so it's 3rd and 2, not a first down. Give up the middle. That's Gore rambling up the right hash. He's down inside the 30, down to the 25. Caden Gore running straight ahead through a massive hole on that right side. Tackled by Mitchell Unversaw, but not before he takes it all the way down to the Southport 27 and a 1st down. That's a gain of 24 on the play. 1st down, Roncalli. 25 seconds to go. This likely will be the final play of the quarter. Loeffler takes the snap, fakes the give, looking toward the end zone. Throws, got a man wide open, and he overthrows Lockhart out of the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Boy, he was wide open too, and Loeffler knows it immediately. Sometimes, Dan, we say the guy had a step. Lockhart had 5 steps.
He had 5 steps.
that time.
And actually, if he throws it to the corner, I think it gives him a little bit more real estate to where he can throw it that hard and still be in bounds. Instead, it kind of went right down the hash mark, which then, again, the straight line, it ended up making it too hard and out of the end zone.
Incomplete pass allows for another play here in the quarter. Give to Gallagher, and he rumbles his way up the near hash, falls forward down to the 23, and that will indeed be the final play of the quarter. So at the end of one, we'll switch ends. Roncalli leads it over Southport in this season opener, 21-0. Stay tuned. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network. Wilson, Steve.
Well, Roncalli's offensive line has really lived up to the hype so far. 3 scores in 3 possessions, and it's not the start that Southport envisioned, that's for sure. We'll see what they can do to stop the bleeding.
Back up here in the booth. Thank you, Steve. 3rd down and 6 for the Royals at the 23. Of Southport, switching ends. Roncalli heading left to right toward the west end zone here in this second quarter. Leffler waiting for the indication from our referee, Tom Thresh, that a restart is ready to go, and we are now set. 3rd down and 6. 2 receivers left. Locker's the lone receiver, short side right. Leffler takes a snap, fakes. Rush coming, and he's going to be sacked back at the 32. First man there on the sack was number 14 for Southport. That's Ramon Pham. Ramon Pham with the sack. Drops Leffler back to the 29 is where they spot the football. So that's
that play
loss
was
of 6.
Designed to go to Michael Gallagher, who was just coming across the seam there. It was going to be a quick out to him. Unfortunately, Billy Russ, number 9, out of their defensive linebacker position, saw that and just locked onto him. So there was nowhere for him to go. So Aiden had to just kind of eat the ball. And the line had let people come up the middle thinking the ball was going to be out on the edges.
Luke Russell on to try what will be a career-long 46-yard field goal.
Nope.
And that is short. Not going to get there. I'm not sure if Southport got a piece of that or not. But Russell's kick from 46 is short and no good. Russell had been, prior to tonight, just 1 for 3 from 40-plus. The one make was a 43-yarder in the opener last year against Franklin Central. So Southport takes over. First time the Cardinals have stopped the Royals tonight. First Southport possession of the second quarter. 11:07 to go in the half. And the Royals leading 21-0. And the give to, that's Ottinger, and he's swallowed up by a group of tacklers at the 21.
Andrew Ball was one.
Andrew Ball was
cleaning
there.
it up for sure.
So Ottinger gets 1. 2nd down and 9. Go ahead.
Roncalli's doing a great job of flying to the ball. They had O'Connor coming from the inside. He did a great linebacker stuff of the lead blocker there, which allowed ball to come off his shoulder to make the tackle. But Roncalli had a lot of blue shirts at that point of attack.
2nd down and 9 at the Southport 21. Roncalli leads 21-0. Shepard sends Burge in motion. Tip pass across the formation. Burge cuts inside. A little bit of space before he's tackled there at the 29, just shy of the line to gain. Ball with the tackle. Burge ruled down at the 29-yard line. So setting up 3rd down and 1.
Well, Steve mentioned the aggressive play that the linebackers are doing. Tyson Garrett came on from that left linebacker spot up through the middle on a blitz package. There was another corner coming from the other side, so 2 guys going up that direction. The ball hits to the right side, left side of the defense, which is where your linebacker had vacated. That opens that lane up and allows him to get up close to that 1st down marker.
3rd down and 1 at the 29, and Southport needs to call a timeout. Second timeout charge to Southport here in the half. We'll go ahead and take, we got one more break to take here in the first half. We'll go ahead and do that now. 9:38 to go, first half. Roncalli leads Southport 21-0. We're back with more in 30 seconds on the Roncalli Media Network.
So you think you can beat a train? Well, think again. While trains can appear to be slow-moving, they can easily cause injuries or death. You must slow down and yield at all railroad crossings. Attempting to beat the train puts yourself and others at risk. According to the Federal Railroad Administration, there were over 2,200 railroad crossing collisions in the United States last year, resulting in 293 deaths. Don't be a statistic. Look, listen, and live.
Third down and 1 for Southport as we resume play. Ball at the Southport 29-yard line. 9:38 to go, first half. Here at the stadium, Roncalli leading Southport 21-0. Shepard gives to Ottinger, flags fly, and Ottinger's driven back.
Ooh, helmet off.
And a tackle for a loss. Tyson Garrett was there first, number 30. And then he was joined by Daniel O'Connor and a couple other Royals. Flag flew immediately, though. Let's see what the penalty is.
Well, they didn't blow the whistle, so it might be an indicator that Roncalli was in the neutral zone, maybe.
Perhaps. Let's see. Nope, procedure on the Cardinals.
Procedure. Yeah, okay.
I don't know. Can Roncalli decline that,
well,
though?
that's what I would do if they can.
Well, the punt team is coming out.
They are declining.
I didn't know if that was a declinable penalty. It is.
It is, because they didn't blow the whistle, so it's a live penalty, which makes it declinable.
So procedure against Southport is declined. Tackle for loss for Tyson Garrett. And 4th down and 3. Charles Schott back out to punt it away. Standing inside his 15, Michael Hegwood. Back at the Roncalli 44. Waiting for Southport to get lined up. Now it seems as though they're ready. Roncalli sending a token rush, and Schott hits one that Hegwood fair catches at the Roncalli 40. On line drive kick. So the Royals take over there. Colin O'Connor checking in tonight. Appreciate him tuning in the action. Jack Hegwood, older brother of Michael, who just made that fair catch, former Roncalli basketball star. Now at Wabash, he's taking in the action tonight down at Lake Monroe. And Dan, one of my personal favorites from that 2016 state championship team, Luke Smock, the wide receiver, checking in from down in Alabama tonight. Still remember that end around 32-yard touchdown run that Luke had in the second half, and our stat guy, Bob Susmichael, yelling, "Go Lukey," in the background, as we called it. Back to action, Roncalli 1st and 10, straight ahead run by Caden Gore for a couple yards out to the 44 of Roncalli. Give him 4 on the play, 2nd down. Charles Schott now playing both ways on the defensive line. Getting in there, making a play, 2nd down and 6. Give again to Gore, he waits for a hole, he cuts outside, he's got room, he's loose down the sideline, 40. 35, one man to beat, he's down at the 30. In the secondary by Ramon Pham, but a long run by Caden Gore. And now we've got a Southport player down behind the play, back at the 50-yard line.
That's a guy that was right on the edge. I think he might have been pancaked, and they didn't feel good.
So Gore was tackled at the 29. That's a gain of 27 on the play and a 1st down. But that's Zach Riddle, number 93, getting some attention at the 50-yard line from the Southport training staff. That's a long-time Southport athletic trainer Mike Rudisell out there, for those of you watching along with us in the red golf shirt, giving some attention to Zach Riddle. I say long time, Dan. He was at Southport when I was.
That's a long time.
And that was not last week. No, Mike Rudisell, been doing it a long time at Southport. An excellent, excellent athletic trainer. So Roncalli, 4 possessions, 3 scores. Southport has had 5 possessions, 4 3-and-outs, and the one possession that had a first down was a offsides penalty on the Royals. So good to see Riddle able to get up on his feet and walk himself off the field. That's always a good sign. 1st and 10 Royals after the Gore run down to the 29 of Southport.
Well, we mentioned Meek earlier. He's playing tackle now.
Giving Scartweed a break. 1st and 10 at the 29 of Southport. Leffler gives again to Gore. Oh, he gets out of one move, gets out of a second, gets out of a third, and he's got a first down as he gets loose down the sideline inside the 20. Well, he broke 3 tackles en route to the far sideline. He's got a first down.
When you mentioned Scartweed getting a break, he's on the left side there.
I got you, okay.
They've moved guys all around here. I think Lauk ended up playing a guard position.
Lauk's lined up at a guard again.
Yeah, they're just kind of and that's one of the strengths of this line. They all can play all different positions.
Late man coming on the field for Southport. Gore picked up 12 on that run. It's 1st and 10 at the Southport 17. Leffler rolls wide side, throws it on the flat,
Nice
and
catch.
a diving
Nice
catch by Zach Arman. Went to a knee to make the catch at the 12.
Oh, he caught that.
Oh, they called it incomplete. The side judge called it completion.
It was a completion.
And now the referee has come in and overruled him and brought it back to the 17. Incomplete, 2nd down.
Oh, that was a incorrect call.
Oh, my.
He did a great job of coming back, getting his arms under the ball there.
Here's an interesting score from the north side. Cathedral and Westfield are scoreless with 5.5 to go in the first half. Up at Westfield, the Irish defending 5A champions. Cathedral lost in the 6A final last year to Center Grove. Or Westfield lost in the final to Center Grove, excuse me. 2nd and 10 after the incompletion at the 17. And the ball is loose. Leffler fumbled it, but he picked it up. He fumbled it at the 19 and recovered his own fumble. Fortunately, there were no white shirts in the vicinity. And let's see where they put the football down. At the 17. So
he did a good job as he went up to
no
get
gain.
it. He kind of dove forward and then scooped the ball up and to let his momentum go.
Yeah.
And get as much yards as he could without endangering not being able to pick it up.
3rd down and 10 at the 17. 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. Leffler's got all sorts of time. Throws on the run.
Oh, nice
Locker's
route.
got a catch, and he spun down at the 5. Boy, he just gets to spots so quickly. And Locker's got another catch inside the 5.
Well, that's a body position route. He runs and he kind of pushes the guy inside and then comes back across, running with the defense. As the defense sees where they wants to throw the ball, they're trying to get ahead of him. He's got him in position and just runs with him staying in front of it. Leffler sees that, throws it in front, which leads him a little bit, and the defense is powerless at that point.
Pick up a 14. 1st and goal, 3. Give to Gallagher. He'll wait. He'll take it right in. That's the 3rd straight rushing, the 4th rushing touchdown by the 4th different player.
Yep.
For Roncalli tonight. Boy, they've moved the ball around. They get it down inside the 5, Dan, and then they put the battering rams to work. Gallagher takes it in for his first score, and it's 27-0 with 7:02 to go in the first half. High fives all around as Michael Gallagher comes off the field. Interestingly, Dan, in that H-back spot last year, he did not have a rushing touchdown.
0, I know.
After having 3 as a sophomore.
He caught 2 passes, but no rushes.
Russell on for the PAT, right down the middle, as you would expect. So 28-0 our score with 7:02 to go here in the first half. Let's send it down to Steve Wilson. And Steve, I want to get your thoughts on what Roncalli's doing to get Lockard free for some of those runs after catches.
Well, that's That's a pretty easy question. He's fast. He's really fast. And I think he's faster than anybody on Southport's defense, so he's not having a problem getting open tonight. But what has been so impressive has been the run game. And when you guys were seeing Scartweed on the left side there, he was actually lined up at tight end. We had six offensive linemen.
Oh, was it unbalanced?
Unbalanced.
It was just a jumbo package.
Just jumbo, okay.
We had 6 offensive linemen. We did that in the second series as well, and we ran, of course, I don't think Scartweed's going to get any throws to him on the from the tight end position, but when you see that, there's a pretty good chance they're going to run, and it's been pretty effective so far.
Well, is there a team in the state, when you bring Meek in as that 6th guy and move Lewis around, is there a team in the state that can get more jumbo with 6 guys?
Jumbo's a great description for that line at that point. Justin, obviously being the smallest guy, I think he's only 220, so he looks tiny out there with all those other guys that are in the 300-pound range. So yeah, that is a large amount of blocking that you've gotten, and that's brilliant coaching to be able to take advantage of. We talked about the 6 guys that are coming back that are that kind of size. Let's put them on the field the best way we can, and what an intelligent way to take advantage of size and some good speed too. And I do like Scartweed's feet. I think for as big as he is, he's 6'5", 303 pounds, but he's got really good footwork for his size.
Well, Luke Russell kicking into the western sky as the sun sets to our right, down behind St. Jude. First time tonight. And the kick is taken and bobbled at the 8. That's Wilson, and he's tossed down just shy of the 20. Noah Tunney hustling down number 10 to make that stop. The Cardinals take over right at the 20. Dan, our favorite listener in Arizona, Bev Dees, checking in from Chandler, Arizona tonight. We're glad she's with us. Hope she's well.
Heck yeah.
Healthy out in Chandler. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals at their own 20. Dan Hammerschmidt enjoying tonight's contest, checking in because his Cubs are unwatchable. Oh, boy, that's a tough pill to swallow. 6:55 left in the half. Roncalli leading 28-0.
It's like Terry Whaler's listening.
Oh, nice.
He's trying to egg me on a little bit.
You will not take the bait.
I'm not.
One of the good guys at St. Barnabas, Terry Whaler. And what's the offsetting penalties? We've got an offsetting penalty.
I didn't see any of it.
Oh, personal foul on the Cardinals that was declined. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
I didn't know you could decline a personal
I did not either.
penalty. But
1st and 10 at the Southport 20. 6:55 to go. Here in the half. Shepard, that snap came in late, but he's got a man in the seam, and it's a catch out across the 30. Nice catch and run after the catch. Number 82 on the catch. That's Brandon Riddle. Connor Mann brought him down at the 34. That's the first down of the night for the Cardinals that did not come via penalty by Roncalli. 1st and 10 at the 34. That almost like a busted play, Dan. Only about half the line moved on the snap count.
Well, there were some oddities going on. It looked like offsides should have been called because you'd mentioned the late snap. I think the center kind of started it late, and I don't think anybody ever got going, which allowed everybody to be kind of open and get a free pass and get a 1st down out of it.
A lot of movement pre-snap by the Roncalli linebackers. 1st and 10. Shepard has time. Now he's flushed. Looking down the field, throws, has a man, and broken up. Nice play by Connor Mann to get a hand in there and knock it away. Brandon Riddle had stopped at the 43 and was open, but Mann with a nice close to knock it down. 2nd down.
When Burge was coming the other direction, I think there was some confusion as to who that ball was really going to. There was some contact as they came together.
And now Riddle having a little trouble getting back to the huddle, favoring his ankle. I think he's indicating he needs to come out.
Right. Well,
now he's going to take a seat at the 29. So 6:17 to go here in the half. He might be cramping. It is cramping time, Dan.
It is.
Usually we see week 1 is the peak of guys cramping due to the heat, the humidity, and maybe not enough hydration. It's difficult to hydrate too much. But appreciate everyone checking in tonight. Our man Gene Lazan holding things down in the parking lot at the volleyball tailgate.
He's still there?
Oh, I'm sure he is. Had a great dinner at the volleyball tailgate tonight. Appreciate those folks feeding Steve and I before tonight's contest. And see who else is checking in tonight. The always socially distant Grinch is checking in. We always love when the Grinch is involved and listening to our proceedings. Good crowd. Boy, it's nice, Dan, to look out the window of the booth and just see full stands.
Yes.
Great crowd across the way from Southport. Kids playing catch behind the fence. And it's nice to be, to the extent that anyone knows what normal is these days, it's nice to have some normalcy here in the stadium tonight.
Yeah, and there's just an energy that's kind of buzzing as you know, people are excited to be out here, and you know, there's people walking around saying hi to each other, and yes, it's a long time coming, and everybody's excited to be here.
2nd down and 10 at the 34. Delayed give to Van Valkenburg, who's back in the game. He's around right end, and Roncalli strings him out sideline to sideline. Not able to turn his shoulders and get upfield much as Tyson Garrett stops him after a pickup of no. They say he went out at the 34, so no gain.
No gain.
Yeah, they really strung him out. No gain, 3rd and 10. 3rd down and 10. Just past the top of the hour, so if there's a possession change coming, we'll do an ID here after the possession change. We need, Roncalli would need to get a stop here on 3rd and 10. Southport does have a timeout left, and really taking their time getting to the line of scrimmage here, and they're going to burn the final timeout. Well, did they call it, though?
Nope. Or did they? Yeah, they did.
Okay. The back judge threw the flag when he saw the play clock hit 0. We'll go ahead and stay here. We've taken our allotted breaks for this first half, but we are past the top of the hour, so we do need to take care of a quick piece of business. Stepping out quickly for 10 seconds to remind you that you're listening to Roncalli Football on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network. Alongside Dan Bauer and Steve Wilson and Matt Donovan, I'm Rob Brown. 17-17, New Pal and Decatur Central. That's 2 of the top 7 teams in Class 5A hooking up at Decatur tonight. That's one of the best matchups in the area tonight. Angela White and Casey Donovan, charter members of the Locust Crew, listening tonight, checking in. No doubt Dexter is somewhat involved in that hijinks as well. Dan and I live in a neighborhood with about 35 houses, and there's 3 dogs, of which my dog is one, that run the show.
Is that
5
right?
dogs. 5 dogs that run that neighborhood. My dog's one, and Matt's another one.
Do they do it from their own yard, or are they free roaming?
It depends on the day. 3rd down and 10. 3rd down and 10 at the Southport 34. 5:26 to go in the half. Royals lead 28-0. Shepard's in shotgun. Billy Rust is in the game. Shepard rolls, looks downfield, throws, has a man, and it is leaping catch by Unversall at the 45. Flag flies in. I think they were going to call a pass interference on Michael Hegwood that'll get declined.
Well,
that's a great leaping catch by Mitchell
catch.
Unversall at the 45-yard line of Roncalli. If the play stands, it's the first time the Cardinals have crossed the 50 tonight.
Yeah, there was definitely contact before the ball got there, but the receiver did a great job going over the top from behind to catch that ball, and it was really well thrown, too.
You hear a lot about analysts talking about receivers catching the ball at its peak.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Unversall did. You're assuming the play is going to stand and they'll decline the penalty. It is indeed pass interference. Penalties decline.
Well, Hegwood was busy pushing him, evidently, so he didn't have time to jump.
Nope. Pickup of 21 on the play. 1st down. And again, this is the first time the Cardinals have crossed the 50 tonight. 1st and 10 at the Roncalli 45. Van Valkenburg
Whoa.
is
Whoa.
hemmed in right at the line of scrimmage. Nobody there. Daniel O'Connor got through in a hurry.
Yeah, everything looked good with that play. They had the pulling guard coming out. Looked like he was in a clear space. Or the running back starts left and then cuts right. And then Mr. O'Connor shows up. And a couple other blue shirts that just, the hole was short-lived.
He's had a tremendous first half, Daniel O'Connor. Johnny Rader, that other linebacker, we've talked about Tyson Garrett a lot. That's a good trio of seniors
everywhere
for the Royals. 2nd down and 10 for the Cardinals. Inside 4:35 to go, first half. Shepard has time. He's it down the sideline, and Hegwood.
Oh, he caught it again. Woo!
Oh, Unversaw took it away from him. At the 15-yard line, what a catch by Mitchell Unversaw. He has made 2 absolutely remarkable catches on this drive. Takes it down to the 15, gain of 30.
And Hegwood's in there battling. I mean, he was in what should be perfect position. However, the ball just is a little higher than he thinks, and the receiver just goes up to the high point, gets that ball. And at that time, it kind of wrestled him down. I think both guys had possession of the ball at one time.
I thought Hegwood was going to pick that one.
He was in position to. But he just, I think the receiver's hands were just too strong.
Give to Van Valkenburg. He cuts to the outside. He's held around the legs, and then the reinforcements arrive. And Van Valkenburg is able to pick up about 4. Sam Cantwell got him around the ankle. Then Daniel O'Connor finished him off, but not before Van Valkenburg is able to take it down to the 11. So give him 4 on the play. 2nd down and 6. 3:45 to go first half. Cardinals inside the Roncalli red zone for the first time tonight, but Cardinals are out of timeouts. Second down and 6. Shepard wants Rust in motion. Lines up as an H-back right, and it's almost picked off. Boy, they threw a quick slant right side to Unversaw, and Michael Hegwood jumped the route and almost got a pick.
Well, he had to get rid of it. They brought the kitchen sink from that right side coming down. It's the left side of the defense, all blitzing. Linebacker, corner, and safety. Coming right at it, was left Hegwood on an island out there. But the idea is you bring everybody and get to that quarterback before he lets it out. Unfortunately, quarterback saw it. That's why he pushed the lead block to the right to try to pick up one of those guys. He picked it up before he snapped the ball and then just got rid of the ball quickly.
3rd down and 6 at the Roncalli 11. Shepard drops, throws, has a man, and is caught in the end zone at the goal line.
Good
Twisting catch for a touchdown by Giad Wilson. 11-yard touchdown catch. There's an 11-yard catch, I believe, an 11-yard play. Wilson the catch from Shepard. Now let's see who's on to try the PAT. This is the kicker that we had in our notes earlier. Donovan Craig, number 17, is the kicker out for the PAT for Southport. And not a lot of leg, but did he tuck it over the goalpost? He did. The crossbar, he did. Well, it barely got there, but it's good enough. So Craig's PAT is good. 11-yard catch and score by Wilson. That makes it 28-7. Roncalli with 3:17 to go here in the first half. Let's send it down to Steve Wilson. And, Steve, I don't know if you got a good look on either one of the catches that Unversaw made on that drive, but those were a couple of impressive grabs by the senior.
Yeah, the second one, you guys were talking about Hegwood, it looked like he was in great position. Looked like he was going to be able to make the pick. He mistimed his jump just a little bit. He got up in the air, and by the time the ball got there, he was already on his way down. But he had nice coverage. He just, and the Southport kid made a great catch. So they're battling. They got a little momentum. They're back in the game, but you better believe that Roncalli's offense is not going to take their foot off the pedal here. They're going to go down, try and score another one before the half.
Well, 28-7 the score. Southport, a 4-minute drive, went 80 yards. A very impressive drive for the Cardinals after going 3 and out in the previous 4 possessions. But Dan, I like Roncalli's chances to get some more points on the board here in the half with 3:17 left and all 3 timeouts.
Yeah, no question. I would be watching out for the onside kick at this point because Southport being down so many scores, they just need the ball back. Now, you obviously you risk giving short yardage to Roncalli and allowing that score that you're talking about, but you also have the opportunity to get the ball back in your possession and stop Roncalli from scoring, and then maybe, boy, the way they move the ball there, get your own score. So that's what I would be looking for if I was Roncalli. They don't have a hands team in right now, although the coaches are kind of talking to them all about what might happen. They do have
hand guys along the front line there. Michael Hegwood and Luke Hansen are deep for Roncalli, back at the 7. Donovan Craig, number 17, who just hit that PAT, is on to kick it away. We'll see if he puts it deep. And is a short pooch kick. Roncalli calls for the fair catch, and it's granted at the 33. That's Lucas Erickson, number 1. Or no, beg your pardon, number 7. Number 7, Connor Mann. Number 7, Connor Mann on that fair catch kick return. So the ball placed down at the 34 of Roncalli.
And the pooch kick is one that, when they call the fair catch, that helps. But it allows them to put the ball on the other side of the 50. If you do a true onside kick, you're giving them the ball usually in your side of the possession. So, you hope that you can just kind of get somebody down there fast enough, and it didn't quite work.
1st and 10, Royals at the 34. Leffler fakes the give. Now he keeps it himself. He's up the middle. He's got acres of space. He's inside the 50. He cuts inside the 45 down to the 40 of Southport. So Aiden Leffler, that's the first design quarterback run we've seen tonight. And we saw so many of those over the years with Leffler, but plenty of space. He takes it down to the 40 for a gain of 26.
And I don't mean to be picky. That's the read option. The third option in there, or the second option technically, is the quarterback keeping it. So it's designed on the plays. He just hasn't kept it and he had a guy out here to throw it if he needed to. Southport had covered that guy, left the field open. So he read the other things were taken, so it leaves that quarterback open.
Southport shows blitz. Roncalli picks it up. Leffler rolls, throws, has a man incomplete. Overthrown Caden Gore.
Oh, late
at the
flag,
28,
late flag.
And the flag flies in very late from the secondary. Well after the ball had sailed past Gore at the 27-yard line. Pass interference on the Cardinals.
Wow.
So that will be a 15-yarder. In high school football, it's not an automatic first down, but it is 15 yards. In this case, on 1st and 10, it is a first down. Nice to see
I don't see
our
the coaches over there arguing it. So
our guy Jason Green checking in, listening tonight. He'll be very excited on the postgame show because Jason Green is calling for more Matt Donovan screen time. So we'll ask Jason to hang on for the postgame show, and you will get what you ask for. Or be careful what you wish for, I guess, is the better adage. Penalty takes it down to the 25. 1st down and 10. Roncalli, 25 yards from the goal line. 2:44 to go in the half, leading 28-7. Leffler stands in, throws, plants, has Gore.
Ooh, off his
it's
helmet.
Broken up, and it's almost picked off. It hit off the helmet of the receiver of the defender in coverage. That was Wilson, and the number 2, Tequan Taylor, flew in and almost got the deflection pick. Ooh, boy.
Could have been ugly.
Leffler threw just 5 interceptions in 193 attempts last year. He had just 1 interception after the first 2 games, over the final 12 games. He had just 1 interception.
Well, that's an area where he's improved, and right there, he's just showing confidence in his receiver. I'm going to put it in even in tight coverage and hope my guy gets it.
Throws it in the flat to Zach Arman, who makes a nice play, a catch, and then fights through a tackle. Knocked out of bounds near the line to gain, setting up 3rd and short. Let's see where they say he stepped out. He stepped out at the 18, so make that the 17, excuse me. Stepped out the 17. He needs the 15. Well, no.
No, they did give him the 18.
No, they gave him the 16, excuse me. We'll get it right eventually.
Oh, 16, you're right.
So 3rd down and 1 at the 16. Clock stopped because Arman stepped out of bounds. We've got Dennis Wells checking in tonight from Greenwood. Leffler on the keeper
look
up
at
the
that.
middle, seeking the goal line. He's twisted down to 3. First and goal.
Yeah, Justin Lewis pulling. Guys twisting in the middle, really getting great seam to allow Leffler to have that opening up the middle, which easy first down and get up close to the goal line.
First and goal at the 3. We know what that means. That means bring in the battering rams. Roncalli, 4 rushing touchdowns tonight, all from 3 yards or less from 4 different players. Let's see who gets this one. First and goal at the 3, 2:20 to go.
Fumblerooski, give it to one of the linemen.
Fumblerooski. High snap. Leffler fakes, hands to Gore, or keeps it himself and spins it in. Leffler faked to Gore, and then he spun his way in for his second touchdown of the night, this time from 3 yards out. Aiden takes it in, and it's 34-7 with 2:10 to go here in the first half. 34-7. And that took just 1 minute and 7 seconds for Roncalli to score.
Yeah, the read option is really a just beautiful offense. You got so much going on and so many guys that you have to account for who might have the ball. Just like you see, I mean, he's got that in his belly forever.
Well, the whistle blows the play dead as the ball was snapped. Offsides on the Cardinals.
Defense.
Offsides on the Cardinals.
Well, Gore started to stand up once he got the
He
ball.
did.
I wasn't sure what was going on there.
Penalties declined. And I think they'll just try the PAT again. So they declined the penalty. And they'll just try it again.
Keep it at a familiar distance.
Russell 4 for 4 tonight. Good snap. Knocks it right down the chute. 5 for 5 is Luke Russell tonight. That makes his streak dating back to last season 46 straight PATs. 35-7 is our score here with 2:10 to go in the first half. Roncalli leading Southport. Let's catch you up on some other scores in a conference matchup just down the road from us. Lutheran all over Beech Grove tonight in Brandon Winter's debut as the Beech Grove head man. 32-7 the halftime score there. Decatur Central leading New Pal 31-17 at halftime. Center Grove leads Warren Central at Warren 24-7. Whiteland leading Columbus East in a good 5A matchup 21-7. And maybe the surprising score of the night thus far, Dan, Brebeuf 7, Chittard 6 at the break.
Whoa, really?
Up at Chittard. 107 the official drive time, says Matt Donovan on that last Roncalli score.
Chittard graduated a lot of players last year. Brebeuf comes back with a lot of a good majority of their players. So that score, early on, who knows what it'll be at the end. Those are two really good football teams.
Well, the report that we got from some members of the coaching staff that saw film of the Chittard scrimmage was that the Trojans have just the look of them, they're smaller than you would normally expect from a Chittard team.
Okay.
They don't have this. I'm not talking about small in terms of roster size. I'm talking about in terms of
girth.
They don't have the big guys that they've had in the past.
Well, they were that way last year. They just really were precision run in the way they did it. They did not run over anybody. They just outmaneuvered people, and it was very impressive. And yeah, they've got all new offensive line. All 5 of their offensive linemen graduated last year.
Russell kicks this one away and sends it over the head and into the end zones. That's a team return on the return there and a touchback for Luke Russell. First touchback of the night for Luke. So the Cardinals get it 1st and 10 at their own 20. 2:10 to go in the half. The Cardinals are out of timeouts. Keep in mind, Roncalli won the toss and deferred, so the Royals will get the ball to start the second half. Again, one more Roncalli score would make it would kick in the running clock provision. Anytime a team leads by 35 points, the running clock is initiated, even if the trailing team cuts the deficit inside 35. 1st and 10. Shepard shouting some instructions down the line of scrimmage. Now he's set, brings Riddle in motion. Takes the snap in the flat. Passes caught by Van Valkenburg, and he scoots his way out across the 25. Not the intended receiver. Lucas Erickson got his hand up, the defensive end, and batted it down, and Van Valkenburg alertly caught the pass off the deflection and turned it into a 6-yard pickup. Whoa.
Yeah, it was a pinball going off and a couple of different people there. You didn't know where it was going, but the ball stayed up, never came close to the ground.
Shepard rolling right to the wide side. Heaves it downfield, and it's overthrown and complete out of bounds. Intended receiver is number 23, Pierce Burge, as the pass sailed out of bounds at the 40. 3rd down and 4. That stops the clock with 1:36 to go. And now, Dan, if you're Southport, you have to be very careful here to give the ball back to Roncalli with 3 timeouts still in the back pocket and over a minute to go in the game, in the half, rather.
Yes, you do.
Especially with the run clock provision looming. If the Royals get another score here. 3rd down and 4. Shepard gives to Van Valkenburg. He slips, keeps his feet, and then he's gang tackled and thrown back. Lucas Erickson was there, as was Johnny Rader.
And Roncalli's trying to call timeout for the reason you're talking about.
They did. John Rodenberg quickly out to call timeout. That's a loss of 1 on the play, so give Erickson a tackle for loss there, number 1. Lucas Erickson, the defensive end. Timeout Roncalli, first of the 2 allotted. We'll keep it right here. Presumably the Cardinals will punt it away and give the Royals 1 more possession. We talked about running clocks last year. Roncalli initiated the running clock, meaning at some point in the game they had a 35-point lead in 6 of the final 11 games. And it would have been, Dan, 7 out of 11 if they had a running clock rule in the state final.
That's right.
Because I remember Roncalli led by 28 points, 28-0 at halftime in that state final win last year at Lucas Oil over Hobart. And we were asking around at halftime, and we were told that no, there is no running clock. And Hobart onside kick to start the second half. Roncalli recovered it, ran a flea flicker on the first play, 53-yard.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad.
And a sidewinding kick that Hegwood has to go chase and scoop up at the 37. He's got a little room to run. Now he cuts back upfield, and he's circled at the 44 and taken down there. And they gave him forward progress in the 45. So that's where the possession starts. 1st and 10, Roncalli at its own 45-yard line. 1:11 to go in the half. And the lead is 28, 35-7. Ladarius Mathis checking in, one of the girls' basketball coaches. He's watching from home. Saving his energy for the freshman game tomorrow. Roncalli and Southport freshman game up the road at Southport tomorrow morning. And Coach Mathis' son, Ladarius Jr., part of that freshman team. That there's a lot of positive vibes around that team. A lot of positive talk, Dan, about the potential of that group.
Nice.
Their numbers are at 53.
Are they really?
One of the biggest rosters they've had in over a decade. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Interested to see how that freshman team does tomorrow. Leffler has time all day in the pocket. Throws, and it's batted down. Nice play by Billy Rust, the linebacker, to knock the pass down. Intended for Caden Gore downfield at the 40. Boy, Leffler had all sorts of time to throw that one. But a nice play by Rust to knock it down.
Billy Rust, that's just like a Texas linebacker name.
Wasn't there a player named Billy Rust on, what was the name of that show? Friday
The
Night
Longest
Lights.
Yard?
Friday Night Lights.
Oh, Friday Night
a
Lights.
TV
Yes,
show.
you're right. Yeah, that's right.
That sounds like a player for Permian High. Slot pass to Lockhart. He's got room to run. He accelerates around the end, 40,
Boom.
into Southport territory before he's shoved out of bounds. Boy, you just give Lockhart a catch in space, let him catch it on the run and do the rest of the work. Sectional champion in the long jump last year, part of the 4x100 relay team that went to state.
He's 6 foot, 141 pounds, but he's not afraid of contact. He will go in at the end of the play and lower his shoulder.
First down to the Southport 41, 58 seconds to go. Lockhart got out of bounds to stop the clock. Leffler plants in the pocket, has time.
Get it back to him.
And it's caught by Lockhart. He spins out of a tackle, able to get to the sideline, not quite. He's pulled down at the 35, and a flag flies in. I think there's a face mask there that might get tacked onto the end. Lockhart was spun down at the 35, so short of the line to gain, which is the 31. But there may be an add-on here, and indeed it is. Personal foul on the Cardinals. That'll give Roncalli a first down and move it ever closer. Certainly will take the ball inside the 30.
There's a personal foul face mask against the Cardinals.
Face mask on the Cardinals, as we suspected. East Central leading Lawrenceburg 21-6. The Trojans will be up here at Roncalli Stadium. Oh my, Parameridian leading Franco Central 21-14 at the half.
Are they really?
Yes, I say oh my because the Falcons were 1-10 last year. 1-9, beg your pardon. 1st and 10th and 19 after the penalty. Lockhart in motion. Leffler plants, throws, has Lockhart in the flat. He catches on the run, seeking the sideline, and he tiptoes out of bounds.
Got the first
did he
down,
get to the 9 or did he step out short? And it's right at the marker. Let's see if they gave it to him. Yep, they did.
Yeah,
First
they did.
down. So Kyle able to step out right at the marker at the 9 and get another first down. More importantly, stop the clock. Roncalli does have 2 timeouts remaining. 37 seconds to go. First and goal at the 9. And Southport crowds the line. Leffler pulls back. Looks back toward the bench for a play adjustment. He's got Gallagher to his left in the backfield. 3 seconds on the play clock. Leffler plants, throws, lobs toward the end zone. Lockhart and a leaping catch!
What a catch!
What a circus catch by Kyle Lockhart!
Wow!
He turned inside, realized he turned the wrong way, adjusted back to the pylon, and dove for the catch in the back of the end zone. Oh my!
That is such a great adjustment. And Leffler had to get rid of the ball. With the clock running down, it gave Southport opportunity to just send the house there to try to rush the quarterback. So and they had the guy coming off the edge right in his face. So he had to get rid of it when he did. Threw it up high. Hope your receiver can make an adjustment. And wow, did he make an adjustment?
And that's a man who has 5 Roncalli receiving records. Kyle Lockhart. What a catch. Luke Russell on for the PAT that would initiate the running clock for the entirety of the second half. And he hits it right down the chute. 30 seconds to go, so we'll actually have a running clock for the final 30 seconds. Now the running clock does not run on possession changes.
I didn't think it was until the second half.
Oh yeah, you're right. It doesn't start till the second half. Yes, you're correct.
What was the distance on that pass?
9 yards.
9 yards. Thank
9
you.
yards. 9-yard touchdown catch. 6 plays, 41 seconds. Roncalli making quick work of the Cardinals on that drive. Royals have had 7 possessions, 6 touchdowns. The lone possession that did not end in a score was the 46-yard field goal that was short by Luke Russell. Keep in mind, immediately following the conclusion of this second quarter, we'll head down to Steve Wilson. Before we take our halftime break, we'll throw it down to a Steve, and he will have a couple question conversation with head coach John Rodenberg. 42-7 our score. Roncalli on top.
Unless he's willing to switch and go to the Southport coach that he talked to earlier.
It's not going to work.
I just wanted to get a reaction out of Steve.
That's not going to work. He's shaking his head.
I
no.
got a reaction.
Yeah, you did. Twitter's favorite rescue dog, Dan Coco, the rescue dog, is taking in the action tonight, tweeting us.
Who is Coco?
Coco is the dog of the McCalebs, Barnabas family.
Okay.
Coco is very active on Twitter. One of my favorite Twitter follows, Coco the rescue dog.
I guess I'll have
Few
to.
dogs on the south side have it better than Coco, and that includes Oreo, Dexter, and Peach, and any other dogs you can think of. Luke Russell on to kick it away. Low line drive kick. that splits the two deep men, and it goes into the end zone for the second touchback of the night for Russell. So the Cardinals have it, 30 seconds, no timeouts, and presumably you would think they would take a knee and just regroup. Roncalli students down below to our left. Boy, it's been nice to see that student section full tonight. We missed that last year. Certainly when the fourth quarter starts, they start jumping and shaking the press box. That's
got all the Hawaiian garb on tonight.
Yep, it's a Hawaiian
very
night.
Colorful.
Hawaiian night at the stadium. 42-7 the score, and Shepherd just takes a knee. And that will be the final play of the half. Roncalli with 7 possessions and 6 touchdowns as both teams begin to head to the dressing room. 42-7 is our halftime score. John Rodenberg having a conversation with the back judge, and as soon as he's ready, we'll send it down to Steve. We see Coach Rodenberg jogging over to talk with Steve for a minute. And as soon as Coach is ready to go, we'll send it down to Steve Wilson, who is standing by with Roncalli head coach John Rodenberg. Steve?
Yes, I'm with Roncalli head coach John Rodenberg, whose team is up 42-7 at halftime. Coach, I can only assume that to this point you're pleased with your team's performance.
You know, I'm pleased, but I still think we had a couple up and downs offensively and then defensively when we gave up the score. And you know, I'm going to keep pushing this team. We got to keep reaching for. We got to keep reaching to get better. And it's the first game of the season, and I still see a lot of mistakes, and you just can't be satisfied.
What can we expect in the second half? More of the same?
Yeah, we'll go with our starters for a little while because this is the first game, and we need reps, and then we'll try to unload the bench, and we'll work on a couple things.
All right, good luck, Coach. Thank you. Back up to you, Rob.
Thank you, Steve. That's John Rodenberg, Roncalli head coach. Royals lead at 42-7 here at the break. We'll step out for 2 minutes.
Coach looks like he's been losing some weight and running, maybe.
Yeah, he's been getting after it.
Yeah.
He's been getting after it. We'll take a 2-minute break.
Been good to him.
We'll take a 2-minute break and come back. Beck Service Center halftime show up next on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
by Kyle Lockard, 9 yards from Aiden Leffler. The only possession that Roncalli did not score was a Luke Russell 46-yard field goal that fell short. Meanwhile, Southport did get on the board with a 4-minute drive on its second possession of the second quarter. That was an 11-yard touchdown from Zachary Shepard to Jihad Wilson. And Donovan Craig added the PAT. So that made it 42-7. But Roncalli's defense, guys, 5 3-and-outs. And other than that scoring drive for the Cardinals, they had just 1 first down.
The field goal attempt was blocked.
It was blocked. Okay, thank you.
And
52 ran off all excited. But
Russell said he flushed it too. He thought
Did he really?
Be good, yeah.
Okay.
And you could tell the way it was in the air.
Gotcha.
Something looked off.
Yeah, it did.
So what were you guys impressed with by Roncalli in that first half? Obviously, there were some things that Coach Rodenberg, based on his comments as he came off the field, that he wants to see cleaned up in the second half.
I love a coach that's up 42-7 at halftime, and he's not happy.
Kind of mad, wasn't he?
That's my kind of coach.
I agree.
Because from guys like us, we don't have a lot invested throughout the week. We're just here on game night. I've seen a lot of good things.
There's no question there was a lot of good things.
It outweighed the negative, let's put it that way.
Yeah, and he's doing what you got to do with a team like this. You can't let him get overconfident in game one, which I don't think they're in any jeopardy of really doing. But you do, you got to coach, and I'm sure, if you stop and look at the film, you are going to see some things where there was maybe some missed blocking assignments, some guys coming off the edges that got through every once in a while. But even in those cases, Roncalli's doing a good job of adjusting and getting by him. So I don't think any of the mistakes obviously are hurting Roncalli.
Right.
But as a coach, you see those errors and okay, in the right circumstance, that could end a drive. That could stop your momentum. It could do a lot of things. So you play for the game, the next game or the game after that as a coach. And that's what he's doing. And you again, you take your hat off to a coach like that, because that's
what you want.
That's how you win a state championship.
Yeah.
Looking at what we saw from the Roncalli defense, let's talk about that for a second. That stretch of 4 straight possessions that went 3 and out. There was another one there before halftime. What did you guys see from the defense that you liked?
The aggression. I mean, they brought a lot of people. Those linebackers were very active. They brought corners off the edge. They were looping their edge rushers down inside into the A gap and filling them with a linebacker, filling them with a weak side corner. Even to a veteran offensive line, those pickups are tough. You got to have a lot of communication, and Southport just couldn't handle it, and it was very effective.
That's a great point, Steve. They are being overwhelmed by Roncalli's defense, by just, what the scheme and what they're doing. And what I liked about the defense also, and part of that is by playing aggressive, you get to the ball quickly. But those linebackers are just all over the field. You're bringing safeties up, you're bringing corners up, you're playing aggressive all over the field. And Southport does not have enough weapons to counter that. Again, on down the line, you're going to see where that, playing that aggressively, they won't play that aggressively because the offense will be able to handle it. So doing it in game one, it allows you to see what will happen, see what kind of players you got, turn up the motors, and just play, mindless a little bit. And defensively, that's what you want. You want players that understand where they're supposed to be, they get there, and they play with a motor that just can't stop.
Yeah.
Because that is winning football on the defensive side. If you think too much about it, then it slows you down and you don't get there, and the other team starts making plays. So, and now there were some things, Roncalli got beat there, a couple passes where they just didn't get the ball down. You said Hegwood missed time to play. Southport did.
But at the end of the day, Southport, they made plays.
They did make plays. And you got to take your hat off to Southport. They're not giving up, and I don't think they'll give up in the second half either. They'll keep coming at Roncalli.
What was really impressive about the defense, to me, the most important thing, I don't think I've seen a missed tackle.
They tackled
we tackled very well.
Yep, you're right.
Well, we need to take a break. Our first break here on the Beck Service Center halftime show. We'll step out for a couple minutes. When we come back, we'll have our halftime roundup of the other fall sports that are going on. We'll have that next in 2 minutes on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
We're so thrilled to have Peyton Manning's name on our children's hospital. But we are a hospital designed for kids.
And then the halfback went in motion and then ran a slant route across the middle. Trying to get a linebacker isolated on him. I like this beat. It's nice. You want some more bass? A little more bass here? These are nice. Wish they had them at the adult hospital next door. They have to make this giraffe green.
That's crazy.
Might be right. Let's go red right, scat right, 585, wide drag. On two. Ready? Break. Nice ride. Y'all have these in blue? Can you hear this?
There's only one Peyton Manning Children's Hospital, offering world-class compassionate care for your child. Schedule primary ER or specialist care online.
Thanks, Peyton. We've got this.
Oh, okay. That's where they go.
Do life, not laundry. Milto Cleaners.
On the Ascension St. Vincent Network, Beck Service Center scoreboard. Let's take a look at our fall sports notes. Girls golf team lost to Bishop Chatard on Monday. Score of 212 was the team's best 9-hole score thus far. Elsie Kerr shot a team best 44. Host the Roncalli Invitational tomorrow at Smock. Volleyball team beat Lawrence North on Tuesday night in 3 sets. Monica Jones had 25 assists and Olivia Murphy had 13 kills. Posted a 3-set win at Carmel on Wednesday night, did the girls. Emma Halter had 30 digs and Faith Birch had 11 kills and 16 assists. They play at Bishop Chatard at noon on Saturday. Boys soccer team had a good week, winning 3-2 at Franklin Central on Tuesday night. Royals jumped out to a 3-0 lead and hung on for the win. Roncalli goals came from Brady Newitt, Isaac Gomez, and Hugo Herndon. And the boys dropped a tight 4-3 decision here last night to Southport. Colin Newitt, Luke Kegris, and Isaac Gomez all scored for the Royals. Next in action on Tuesday night at Brebeuf Jesuit. Girls soccer team opened the season with an 8-0 home win over Whiteland on Monday night. Freshman Summer Fishel netted 3 goals in her high school debut. Fellow freshman Mackenzie Croyer added 2 goals. They won 3-0 at Greenfield Central to the girls on Wednesday night. Nora Jordan, Summer Fishel, and Mackenzie Crewer all scored. Girls in action tomorrow night at the stadium at 12:30 against Columbus East. We'll have the broadcast on Roncalli High School YouTube channel. Boys tennis lost 3-2 at Franklin Central on Tuesday night in the season opener. Freshman Chris Stanley won at #1 singles, and Henry Howe is victorious at #3 singles. They play at Perry Meridian on Wednesday afternoon next week, and the boys cross country team and the girls will be in action tomorrow at Brebeuf at the Circle City Conference race. That starts at 9. They won their season opening meet last Saturday at Ben Davis in a mixed gender hokum carom. A pair of Lauren Turk and Jack Davis won the race. Roncalli took the 2nd and 3rd spots as well. Rachel Flick and Ronan Uzan finished 2nd, followed by Valeria Lara and Ezra Littell. We're going to take another break of 2 minutes. When we come back, we'll take you up to the start of the second half. Roncalli leading 42-7 against Southport. Back with the second half next on the Roncalli Media Network.
We're so thrilled to have Peyton Manning's name on our children's hospital. But we are a hospital designed for kids.
And then the halfback went in motion and then ran a slant route across the middle. Try to get a linebacker isolated on. I like this beat. It's nice. You want some more bass? A little more bass here? These are nice. Wish they had them at the adult hospital next door. They have to make this giraffe green.
That's crazy.
Might be right. Let's go red right, scat right, 585, wide drag. On two. Ready? Break. Nice ride. Y'all have these in blue? Can Can you hear this?
There's only one Peyton Manning Children's Hospital, offering world-class compassionate care for your child. Schedule primary ER or specialist care online.
Thanks, Peyton. We've got this.
Oh, okay. That's where they go.
Every day, we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
And welcome back to Roncalli. It's score 42-7. We're winding down the halftime right now. The teams come back onto the field. I'm guessing that they'll add a little bit of time back on the clock to allow them to warm up, and because Roncalli is just now coming back onto the field. So kind of an extended halftime there to honor the state championship softball team from Roncalli. So it was great to see those girls out there. And David Lautko, I think, called them the greatest softball team to ever put on Roncalli jerseys, and based on their record and their accomplishments and the records that they set, I think it'd be hard-pressed to argue with that statement. So great job by the girls.
There have been 4 softball state champions here, and Roncalli winning this one 4-1 in the final over Lake Central. The team finished, I believe, 31-3, which set a new program record for wins. And boy, it'd be hard to argue.
No question.
It was fun to be a part of that. I was able to broadcast a couple of those games along that state run. Jimmy Cook did a great job filling in and calling the state championship game on my behalf. And boy, they've got a lot coming back. So you like their chances certainly to come back and do it again next year.
Yeah, the Roncalli sports program all over. You obviously look at the football team tonight that we're seeing, the softball team. There's just a lot of good things happening at Roncalli, and a lot of things for the kids to back up too. And that was, they had a couple articles where, the students were out supporting that softball team, bringing a lot of people, and they were counting strikeouts with Ks and needed extra ones. And tonight you see the fans, and the students have always been strong backers of all their sports. But I know, that's some of the stuff these kids remember when they walk across the graduation stage. And what are you going to miss most? Most of them would tell you getting together with friends at football games or volleyball games or basketball games, and and the fun that you have, and rooting on the team, and and again, it just creates a great atmosphere at a school that it really likes to make sure those kids experience greatness.
Well, and you think about the run that they had. They hosted the regional here against Avon on a Tuesday night. They had to bring in bleachers to accommodate an extra 300 fans to deal with the interest and the crowd that was involved. And given the interest, especially in Keegan Rothrock, who was named National Player of the Year as a sophomore, the pitcher, who set all sorts of records. She's coming back. They've got other significant players coming back. I think there's a very real possibility that the bleachers to accommodate those 300 fans that they brought in here, those might be permanent.
Yeah.
At least for the next 2 years.
Well, and they got a lot of press. I had, my father-in-law lives down in Florida. He was getting articles and sending them back up to me about the Roncalli softball team, and kind of with the question, is this girl real? It's yeah, she's the real deal.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Yes, that team was really good backing her up. But, when you have a pitcher like that in softball, it takes you a long way.
Well, we do while we have a minute. Both teams are out warming up, getting set to go for this second half. We'll have a running clock throughout the second half with Roncalli leading 42-7. One of the members of the Roncalli coaching staff, Gunnar Large, his grandmother passed away earlier this week. So Coach Large is not with us tonight. He will be back with the team tomorrow night, or next week rather, at Franklin Central. But Coach Large, who is also a first-year teacher here at Roncalli, a young teacher, played at New Pal, played quarterback at New Pal about
right?
7 or 8 years ago, was kind of on the front end of that steamroller dynasty that they've had over in Hancock County. He got in on the ground floor. His family's had multiple brothers play in the program. And I know Coach Large was very excited about being here tonight for his first game as a high school coach. So we're sorry that Coach Large can't be here. We understand why he's not, and he's in our thoughts, he and his family. And we look forward to seeing him back with us here next week. Roncalli will get the ball to start the second half. I think we'll keep an eye on some scores here. Certainly, Perry Meridian leading Franklin Central 21-14 mid-third quarter, Dan, after the Falcons had lost 19 games in a row. They beat Tech in the sectional last year to break that streak. And Jason West, in his first game as Franklin Central's head man, having all sorts of everything he can handle. And here's something that I don't think a lot of people realize, Dan. I ran this by Kyle Nedenrip, the great high school writer for the Indianapolis Star earlier this week. There are only 3 coaches, active coaches in the state of Indiana that are on a sideline tonight that have won at least 4 state championships.
Okay.
Can you name them?
No.
Well, Bud Wright at Sheridan has won 8, and he's been there forever.
I thought he retired.
No, he's still going.
Is he really?
Yes,
you sure?
He is. Yes, no, I'm positive. Yes, he is. He's still going.
All right. See, I wouldn't have guessed him because I was told earlier this year that he'd retired.
No, he's still going.
Good for him.
He's won 8. Kevin O'Shea at North Central has won 5. Now, he won those 5 at Lafayette Central Catholic.
Right.
And the other active coach that has won 4 state championships is the man down the Roncalli sideline, John Rodenberg.
Well, that was a trick question because I was thinking just Indiana state
Doesn't
championships,
matter. Indiana.
But you're going to add the different
high school
states.
state championships.
Okay, I see. Yes,
He's
I
the only
gotcha.
one on the sideline that's won one in another state. 42-7 the score. Donovan Craig kicking off to start the second half for the Cardinals. Short kick taken by Nolan Tunney at the 25. He's got a little bit of room, and he looks to run a man over, and he does at the 35. So Nolan Tunney, number 10 on the return. And Roncalli begins there. Clock is rolling.
Yeah, you were talking
At
about
the 35.
The trainer from Southport that's been there a long time. Bud Wright actually coached me in an all-star game when I was at Roncalli. That's how long he's been on the sidelines.
I believe Bud Wright is the same age as my dad, and Bud Wright graduated from Sheridan, I believe, in 59 or 60.
And went straight into coaching, probably.
Went to Ball State and then got right into it.
Yeah, been there forever.
Expect to see a host of faces for Roncalli here in the second half. Starters are still on the field. Left rolls out on first down, looks, throws, incomplete. Intended for Dylan Coughlin, number 81, downfield. Second down and 10.
Jihad Wilson made a real nice cut across there. He probably had the best chance of catching that ball.
Second down and 10 at the 35. Yeah, Bud Wright on the practice field at Sheridan, he can look across the practice field and see the house that he grew up in the 50s. And the snap goes back to Luke Hansen, and he's got all sorts of room. He's across the 50 and tackled out inside the 45. Long run by Luke Hansen. Tackled down at the 41.
Well, that was a heads-up play because that ball was not intended to snap directly to him.
It looked like the snap went through the hands of Leffler.
It did. It was
and
wide
landed
left.
in the lap of Luke Hansen, and he just took it right up the right hash mark for a first down. First and 10 at the 41. Leffler on the keeper. Pitch to Noah Sissel. Down the sideline. Sissel is loose. And is he in the end zone? Yes, he is.
Nope, they're going to call him out down here. But was that not a forward pass?
I could not tell. Did you see an indication?
I didn't see an indication. That's what but.
Either way, Sissel's taking it down to the 5-yard line for a first down. I think that was a run, but I'm not positive. It was a pass. Matt Donovan saw it. It was a pass straight ahead.
Yeah, it looked like it went across his plane,
so
which would make
play?
it a forward pass.
Yep. Pass play. So Noah Sissel with a long catch and run on the pass. Caden Gore is in the quarterback spot on 1st and goal from the 5. And he gives to Gallagher, tries to drag tacklers and can't. Nice 3-man tackling effort there by Southport to bring Gallagher down at the 5 for no gain. Teonius Curry was in on the stop, as was Malik Reed. No gain, 2nd and 5. 2nd down and 5. Clock running throughout the second half. Creeping up on the top of the hour here. Roncalli leading 42-7. Gore gets to Gallagher. He cuts, he moves,
nice
he seeks
move.
the goal line, and he's got it. Touchdown. Michael Gallagher from 5 yards out, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And it's a touchdown, Roncalli. 48-7 is the score.
Some nice lateral movement by Gallagher. He got the ball kind of cut up straight up, which you can tell, but then a would-be tackler came and he kind of slid to the left, just in a real nice move, just quick to force that guy to not be able to put on the brakes quick enough to allow him to jump in the end zone.
New kicker in the game is Joe Parrott, number 92.
We saw him last year.
On for the PAT, the junior. Got some action last year, as Dan mentions, the sophomore when Russell was out with an injury.
Uh-oh.
And Parrott cannot get that one. It's short. Did not get any leg into it. And the kick is no good. So Parrott's kick is no good. 7:54 to go here in the third quarter. Roncalli leading 48-7. Let's update you on some scores. Cathedral leading Westfield 7-0 mid-third quarter. Hamlin Southeastern all over Lawrence Central, 35-7. Whiteland has defeated Columbus East 28-7. Cecina leading Pioneer 14-0. That was a game that was arranged late, Dan. Both Cecina and Pioneer had opponents that had some COVID issues.
Where is Pioneer?
Pioneer is that juggernaut in 1A that has won a couple state championships.
I've heard of Pioneer, but I have no idea where it's at.
It is in Royal Center, my friend.
And I still don't know where that is.
That's northwest of Logansport,
Is
Cass
that right?
County. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
That it's a consolidation. Both my paternal grandparents went to Royal Central High School in the 40s.
Okay, there you go.
6 plays on that drive for Roncalli.
Got a new kicker in here too.
That's Levi Whistler, number 55, on the kickoff for Roncalli, out there to kick it away. He got an extra point as a freshman at the end of the Bloomington North game. If you recall. Well, you don't remember it because he came in the game and they didn't tell us who he was, and we spent the final minute and change trying to figure out who it was. It's Levi Whistler.
Oh, good kick.
And he hits a good foot into this one, and it's a touchback.
Nicely done.
Nicely done by the sophomore Levi Whistler. So Whistler's touchback goes through the end zone. That's the 3rd straight touchback by a Roncalli kicker. Running clock. And let's go ahead and send it down to Steve Wilson. Steve, what did you see from that last Roncalli drive?
Well, Rob, we'll get back to that in a minute. I'm getting some tragic news down here. I'm hearing the tailgate by the volleyball team may have been a one-off. So I am begging and I'm pleading for them to make sure we get that tailgate at least for the home games.
Okay.
Can we do that?
Keep working on that.
Okay. Did you ask me a football question?
We'll get back to it.
All right. Thanks.
Back to action. Southport with the football, and Von Valkenburg is stopped and driven back by Lucas Erickson for no gain. Maybe he made a loss. Brebeuf leads Chittard 17-6 mid-third quarter up on the north side. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Loss of 2, so a tackle for loss for Lucas Erickson. Second down and 12. Shepard in the pocket, and he's brought down and sacked. First Roncalli sack of the night, and it's Lucas Erickson again. So 2 straight. First sack of the night for Roncalli, and it comes from the senior Lucas Erickson. His second straight tackle for loss. It's 3rd down and 7. 3rd down and 17, beg your pardon. 3rd down and 17 at the Southport 13. Shepard. That's a running play on a swing back to Christian Van Valkenburg. That looked like a running play, Dan, I believe.
I think
that was
it
a
was.
Run, a lateral back to Van Valkenburg on the run. He picked up 2.
Tyson Garrett's the one that came up and cleaned him up there. Ran through a blocker, did a nice job avoiding the blocker by running through it, making that tackle.
So 4th down and 15. Punt team is on. Charles shot on to punt it away inside his own 5. Michael Hegwood's back at the 45. Low snap. No Roncalli rush. It's a low kick by Shot. Hegwood comes up to get it and now goes back to get it at the 40, his own 46. And he's hemmed in and taken down for no gain. Roncalli fans wanted a face mask there. So Hegwood was unable to handle it. Back at the 44.
And Hegwood kind of ended up in an awkward spot there. He tried to use a stiff arm, but his arm was up high as he was getting pushed down, and could have gotten ugly if he fell on top of him at that point.
So 1st and 10 at the 44 for Roncalli. Clock continuing to roll. We'll see who breaks the huddle. Anticipate seeing some new faces here. Play clock's running, and Roncalli still hasn't come out of the huddle. J.J. Prendergast, number 18, for those of you watching along with us. And now there's a Southport player down and cramping. J.J. Prendergast is the new quarterback for Roncalli, number 18.
So Ben Brandenburg
Ben
is the
Brandenburg
tailback.
is in, number 35. The sophomore, he's in at running back. And Dan, I have to confess, Brandenburg, the sophomore running back, who got a lot of notice for his track season. He had some really impressive 200 times on the track.
That's what I've heard.
And has good speed. But I have to confess, and I saw him earlier in the stands, when I saw 35 run out for a second, I thought it was Baron Hebler, and I got very excited. But Baron is here tonight. I saw him.
Is he here?
I saw him coming right into the stadium before kickoff.
Okay.
Yes.
Playing at Marion this year.
Yep. So Mitchell Unversaw is the player that needed to be helped off. He had a couple acrobatic catches in that second quarter on the lone Southport scoring drive. So Prendergast, the sophomore left-hander, is in at quarterback for Roncalli.
Jackson McNeely's at the center spot.
Give it to Luke
nice
Hansen.
trap.
Covers the ball, working his way out near the 50. Good first down run by Luke Hansen, the junior. Out across the 50 to the 49. Setting up 2nd and short.
Jackson's at center. Connor's at left guard. He pulled around and had a real nice lead block on that one.
The McNeely twins, the juniors. 2nd down and 3. Clock running inside 4 minutes. Prendergast turns, gives to Brandenburg. His first carry. He's into the secondary. He's inside the 40. Tripped up at the 38 for a first down. Nice run by the sophomore Brandenburg in his first varsity carry.
This one's good for a Royal first down.
Clock rolling down to the 38 of Southport. Nearing the 3-minute mark to go in the third quarter. Roncalli leading 48-7. Prendergast turns.
Nice keep.
And he keeps it. And a nice run by the sophomore quarterback, down inside the 30, down to the 25. Faked the handoff to Brandenburg, who came to the wide side, and Prendergast kept it short side. Took it for a first down to the 25.
Yeah, Brandenburg had 2 or 3 guys wanting to tackle him there and did a good job on the fake. And a little sleight of hand. Quarterback still had it and was running for daylight.
First and 10 at the 25. Prendergast takes the snap, hands to Brandenburg. He stutter steps into the linebacker, still on his feet, down inside the 15 before he's dropped there. He's got another first down. Good running by Brandenburg here on this drive.
He had that lead hand using it as a stiff arm through there, but kind of pulling and pushing people out of the way. Very unique running style.
So Brandenburg, very upright, Dan. He's got good size. Good height, I should say, at 6'2". 6'2", 168, the sophomore. First and 10 at the 13. New faces getting some action here in this third quarter. Prendergast has Brandenburg to his left, turns and hands to him. Brandenburg tries to break out of a tackle, still on his feet, dragging a man down inside the 10. Nice hard running by Brandenburg. He turned what looked to be, Dan, a run possibly of no gain into a pickup of about 5 there.
Yeah.
Make it 6 down to the 17, 2nd and 4. Ball on the 7. 1:20 to go. Here in the third. Clock running throughout this second half after Roncalli triggered the running clock by grabbing a 35-point lead right before halftime. Prendergast turns, hands to Brandenburg again, and he walks it into the end zone. Touchdown! Ben Brandenburg, the sophomore, from 7 yards out. His first career varsity touchdown, and oh, how impressive was Brandenburg on that drive.
He's fired up on the sidelines, too, everybody.
As he should be. 7th rushing touchdown of the night for Roncalli. And it's 54-7. Parrott's on for the PAT. Kick down on the way and good. So Parrott's PAT is good. We need to take a break here with 18 seconds to go in the quarter. We're behind on break, so let's go ahead and take a break. 55-7 is our score. 18 seconds to go here in the third. Back with more in a minute and 30 seconds on CBS Sports 1430 and the Roncalli Media Network. Yeah, I'll get you when we come back. 55-7 our score. Let's send it down the field. See what he's got on his mind. Steve?
Well, I thought Pendergrass looked really comfortable back there as the backup quarterback, and Brandenburg did a great job running the football. And the second unit offensive line picked up right where the first unit was too. They got a really nice push. It's always good to see the second unit do so well and put the ball in the end zone.
Well, so Southport takes over. 12 minutes to go. Ball at the Cardinal 43. Round in, Shepard Key, quarterback, and he slides to a stop just shy of the 50. And he's down where the slide started, so we'll see where they put him down there.
Give him 5.
Ball at the 48, pick up a 5, as Dan mentioned. 55-7 the score. Roncalli leads. Shepard still in there. Touch pass to Burge across the formation, number 23. He's able to scoot his way inside the 50 and set up third down and short. Andrew Stuck on the tackle. He had a couple tackles, special teams tackles in that first quarter. So gain of 3 on the pass play to Burge.
Stuck's coming from the linebacker position to the play side there.
Third down and 2. Shepard sends a man in motion. That's Burge. Throws back to Burge. That's a running play on the lateral back. Burge breaks a tackle and gets inside the 45. So a first down. So that's a running play. Running play back to Burge. That's a first down. Bryce Hillen on the stop. Along with TJ Gephardt. 55-7 the score. 10 minutes to go. Running clock this entire second half. First and 10 Cardinals at the 43 of Roncalli. Shepard hands to Ottinger. He tries to turn up the field. He can. He gets a couple yards around left end. That's Ottinger, number 13, Josiah Ottinger. Dylan Henry, younger brother of Ryan Henry, on the stop. Ryan Henry, the Mental Attitude Award winner in the 4A state championship game last year, now at the West Point U.S. Military Academy. Second down and 9, so give Ottinger 1 on the play. Second down and 9. Shepard looks, throws, has a man caught. That's Burge at the 39. He's tackled immediately right at the line to gain.
Yeah, it's close.
Be close to see where they spot him. Sam Scott and George Martin are in on the stop.
They gave it to him.
They gave him the 33. That's enough for a first down. First and 10. At the 33. And we've got an equipment stoppage. Officials calling for a clock to stop. Now we're ready to go again. 55-7 the score. 8:25 to go. Roncalli leads Southport. Van Valkenburg on the carry, cuts outside, gets out of a tackle, and then he's pushed back by a wall of blue shirts after a pickup of 1. Will Morse was in on the stop, as was TJ Gephardt. Connor Wood also in there.
A cramping
and
issue,
we got
I think.
a cramp issue down on the field. And we're behind on breaks, so let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and take a break right now. with 8 minutes to go in this ball game. Roncalli leading Southport 55-7. We're back in 30 seconds on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
Now 2nd down and 7 for the Cardinals at the Roncalli 30. 8 minutes even to go. 55-7 is the score. Shepard gives on the handoff to Ottinger. He's got some room around left end. Turns upfield. He's got a first down inside the 30, down near the 27. Good hard running by Josiah Ottinger. Called the 23, excuse me. He's got a first down to the 22. Braden Lauk on the stop. Ottinger needed 7, he got 8. First down, 1st and 10. $55-7 is our score. Edging toward the halfway mark to go in this 4th quarter. Touch pass across the formation to Burge, cuts up field on the short side, and Roncalli's got him hemmed in at the 21. Judson Lowry was there, number 4, as was Andrew Stuck. Stuck's made a name for himself here in this game between his action here on this drive and the special teams tackles in the 1st quarter. Pickup of 2 by Burge there. 2nd down and 8. $55-7 is the score. Shepard taking his time with the play clock at 5. Keeps it himself. And that's an incomplete pass. Burge, that was close to a lateral. Down the line of scrimmage. Side judge was on it, but that was very close to being a lateral. 3rd down and 8 at the Roncalli 20. Third down and 8. Immediately following the game, Steve Wilson will have a conversation with John Rodenberg at the post-game show, the Steve's Flowers and Gifts post-game show. Matt and Dan talk about the game. Shepard heats toward the end zone, and it's broken up nicely by George Martin in the end zone. Nice play, intended for number 2. That's Tequan Taylor in the end zone. Nice breakup by Martin. 4th down and 8. You recall George Martin, Dan, got some minutes as the backup sophomore JV quarterback last year.
Yep.
Had 2 rushing touchdowns.
My eyes are bad. When I saw him, it looked like he was wearing number.
At the Roncalli 20 for Southport. Shepard fakes. Now he's flush from the pocket, and he's ball out.
Ball out.
Ball's out. Let's see if the Royals have it. And let's see. Southport recovered, but that was 4th down. It was recovered by Tequan Taylor, number 2.
Forgot that it was 4th down. All that excitement for nothing, really.
Yep. Roncalli takes over at the 21, 4:21 to go.
Burbuff 24-6.
Oh, wow. Pendergrass in at quarterback. Roncalli leading 55-7. Delayed give to a new running back in the game. We'll get you a number here in a second as he basically ran right off a right tackle. See who was in on that carry.
40-something. 48, it looks like, or 46.
That's Spencer Burge, number 48.
Yeah, it is 48.
On the carry. Spencer Burge, number 48. In at tailback. Pick up a 7. 2nd down and 3. Give again to Burge. He's got a little room around the left side before he's gang tackled the 31, but he should have enough to gain to get down. He did indeed.
Ian Crow, big number 77, did a real good block, leading him through that hole there.
Take him out to the 32 and a 1st down.
That runs good for a Royals 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 32. Turning into Burge. He's got a little room.
Yeah, good read.
Out near the 40. Nice run by the sophomore Spencer Burge. Ramon Pham on the stop, out to the 39. 2nd down and 3. Clock running, inside 2.5 minutes to go.
Roncalli taking their time, all looking over at the sidelines to get the play in. Eating clock up here.
Pendergrass turns, hands to Burge, and he is going to be swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. And they gave him 1 on the forward progress. Center Grove leading Warren 31-14. Cathedral leads 14-0 at the end of 3 at Westfield. 24-6, the rebuff Chittard score with the Braves on top. Inside 2 minutes to go. 3rd down and 2 for the Royals. Pendergrass in no hurry. Takes the snap, hands to Burge. Burge dances his way out near the 43. That's more than enough as he's pushed back by a host of white shirts. It's more than enough to reload the sticks. And Roncalli likely will run at max 2 more plays. Ball at the 44-yard line. 55-7 the score. This ties for the 8th home win in Roncalli history, the 48-point margin. Far away the largest win ever over Southport. Pendergrass gives to Burge again. He covers the football and he runs right into the nose tackle for no gain. And depending upon when they put the football down, the play clock is ahead of the game clock by about 5 seconds. So Roncalli will have to run 1 more play and that will do it. 1 more play and that'll be all for tonight. 2nd down and 9 at the 45. Pendergrass gives to Burge. He goes around right guard.
That's Sweezy, by
stacked
the way,
up. Quarterback.
Sweezy.
Burge is stacked up at the 50. Give him 5 on the play. And that will be the final play of the game as the game clock inside 10. Fans on their feet clapping. And that will do it. So the Royals, their first game since the state championship win back on Thanksgiving weekend. 9:25, our end of game time. First game for Roncalli since the state championship win on Thanksgiving weekend, and they knock off their Southside rivals, the Southport Cardinals, in go-away fashion tonight here at the stadium by the score of 55-7. Stay tuned. We'll step out for a couple minutes. When we come back, we'll have all the particulars on the Beck Service Center postgame show. Matt and Dan have you covered. We'll have a conversation with John Rodenberg. All that coming up next in 2 minutes on the Roncalli Media Network. Hey, David,
We're so
push the
thrilled
break
to
that we
have
have
Peyton
left
Manning's
into the
name on
second
our
break.
children's hospital. But we are a hospital designed for kids.
And then the halfback went in motion and then ran a slant route across the middle. Try to get a linebacker isolated on. I like this beat. It's nice. Give me some more bass. A little more bass here. These are nice. Wish they had them at the adult hospital next door. I think I'm gonna make this giraffe green.
That's crazy.
Might be right. Let's go red right, scat right, 585, wide drag. On two. Ready? Break. Nice ride. Y'all have these in blue? Can you hear this?
There's only one Peyton Manning Children's Hospital, offering world-class compassionate care for your child. Schedule primary ER or specialist care online.
Thanks, Peyton. We've got this.
Oh, okay. That's where they go.
Every day, we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
Roncalli looks like they're doing a little to happen, and obviously Roncalli steps out with
drives that went past the 50-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
So great control of the game by Southport, by Roncalli, as well as when you look at the game, great total control by the lines, both
Yes.
offensive line and defense.
Just sitting and
55-7 victory tonight over Southport. Coach, and effective defense.
Yeah, we're changing some things up and we're try to be a little aggressive. It really worked well for us last year in the playoffs, and did some studying over the winter, and kind of not really changing my thoughts.
Third year for Roncalli football. You got a pretty big night from number 53 tonight, or Daniel O'Connor, I'm sorry, as a full-time starter and his role on this football team.
I think everything with Daniel starts with his intelligence. He's a smart football player. He's smart in the classroom. He's really coachable. He's a leader. He just does everything right. He works hard on the field, and that's why he has success, because once you teach him something, he's locked in. And he knows what to do, and he knows how to make the right.
With Franklin Central under new leadership this year with Jason West, I'm assuming you've coached against him when you were at LC, and maybe he was at Warren at the time. He's been very successful at Warren Central. What can you expect from a Jason West football team?
Yeah, I think what you're going to get from them is they're going to be well coached. They're going to do things right. They're going to have a great foundation. Philosophically, they're going to know what they want to do, and then it's just a matter of him getting them to do that. They're going to be good in the weight room. He's a good coach. He's proven. He's going to do the same things I'm going to do. He's going to build his team out of the weight room, and then he's going to be foundationally strong and whatever they do scheme-wise, and that's what makes you good.
Okay, thanks for joining us tonight, and good luck next week. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right, no problem. Back up to you, Dan.
Thanks, Steve. Great interview with Coach Rodenberg there. Again, Roncalli with the 55-7 win over Southport today. I'm joined with Matt Donovan. Matt, was first time on the stat board for us. Hope that was an experience.
It was an experience.
Did you notice anything in the stats that really stood out to you?
There's two that I thought were really impressive for Roncalli. 0 sacks on Leffler, which is important.
Yep.
And something that anything you always as a coach want to understand, no injuries. And that's really important. At the beginning of the season, obviously game one, when you don't give up any injuries and you don't give up any sacks, you have to feel pleased about that.
Yeah, that's two great points. And yes, when those linemen did a great job. I still, the read option, I talked to a coach a number of years ago when they first started doing the read option, and he said, the thing that's hard defensively about stopping a read option is that even the offense doesn't know where the ball is going to go at what's the snap of the ball.
Correct.
You don't know who's going to get it. So how as a defense do you stop a ball where you don't know, even the offense doesn't know where it's going to end up? Defensively, you've got to stop them. So, it really just, creates havoc for the defense, and it doesn't allow them to get after it like defenses like to get after it, and especially when you have a quarterback like Leffler who can run the ball.
Right.
That helps that or the 0 sacks stat, that he can get out there because that rush can't come as fast, because like he saw a couple times where he started to run and then he just dumps it off for either the lateral to make it run or a short pass as part of that option, which completely spreads the field, and you've got 3/4 of the field where somebody could be getting the ball, and you have to defend all that.
And his vision. The biggest thing what you have to look at Loeffler is he's an intelligent young man who sees the field.
Yeah.
When you run the run option like that, or the spread, or all those things, the quarterback has to be able to determine what are the D-backs doing, what are the linebackers doing. And that's a huge compliment to that young man because he was able to make plays and totally kept Southport's defense on its heels from that standpoint.
Well, and that's where a 4-year starter really helps,
Without a doubt.
and the coaches have done a great job with him and teaching him those principles, and he has done a great job on his own studying film and really going after it to bring those elements and give Roncalli that weapon that's back there.
His execution, Dan, when you look at when he ran those plays, they were plays for positive yards. And with that, usually when those plays occur, you're either going to see some incompletions or maybe small yardage. Well, he was able to make big plays for that. And he kept the ball going forward for the offense, which, as you well know, that just keeps the defense on the side and it gives them rest. And, the biggest thing when you look at what they did defensively, they limited Southport's rush average to a very small number.
That's a great point. And when you have the defense on the sidelines resting up, it allows you to then play aggressively as they did, and why you saw so many 3-and-outs on the Roncalli defense, forcing Southport, because they're so aggressive, because they're sitting on the sideline just waiting to get back in. Then when they're there, they're fresh, they're really going at it, and it's a huge advantage, to where your offense really tees up your defense and lets it do its thing.
I think the biggest thing we have to also give compliment to the defense is how many times did you see plays that were almost interceptions or batted down balls? And really that tells you there wasn't a lot of blown coverage, there wasn't a lot of mistakes, there were just good execution on the defensive side. When you look at game one and you have those situations, your defensive staff's going to be thrilled because they did not give up big plays.
Yes, that's so. And yeah, when they watch the film, they're going to be a lot of those players, those DBs and stuff, especially, will be kind of like tapping their heads a little bit, going, "Man, I should have picked that off," or at least knocked the ball down, because yes, they were so close. The other nice thing about tonight, there wasn't a lot of yellow flags all over the place. There was some, but on a first night, you kind of expect to see a lot more real mental mistakes, jumping off sides. You saw a couple holding plays, but those, are going to happen in any game, no matter what day it is. But it was kind of nice to see.
The biggest thing, too, which you look at a game one, and a compliment to the Roncalli staff, how many guys, second string, I hate to use that line, but a lot of depth was being used. And when you use depth this early, that pays dividends down the road.
Well, and I'll tell you where that also pays off. When you see those second string guys, you got to remember they're going against those first string guys every day in practice. So when you're used to going up, these guys that are getting touted for being at the Division I level, and you're practicing against those, when you get your chance, going against the varsity on Friday, you're like, oh my gosh, this is easier than practice is. And so you see those, those starters that are that good elevate the entire team. And we saw that tonight, where the second string, even the third string, were coming in and dominating.
And they didn't give up. Again, I like to use no points.
Yep.
Hardly any penalties, and no big plays.
We also have to take our hat off to the running clock rule.
God bless.
That makes it so nice. That's my favorite rule that's ever been installed.
Let me tell you, when you're doing stats and you're trying to keep up with the running clock is your best friend, because it just,
no question.
Holy smokes,
no question.
It's a good thing.
Well, we will take a quick break here. When we return on the Steve's Flower and Gifts post-game show, we will look at some stats and really kind of continue with the storylines from tonight's victory, which again, Roncalli Royals defeat the Southport Cardinals 55-7. You're listening to Roncalli Football on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
Hey, David, let's catch up the breaks here and get and empty them out. Okay.
Hey, Indiana, let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons, like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
Rob Brown, Dan Bauer, Steve Wilson back for the final time here on the Steve's Flowers and Gifts postgame show. Appreciate Matt Donovan escorting us through segment one. Roncalli victorious tonight, 55-7 here at the stadium over Southport in the season opener. The Cardinals will play there. We're running through segment one late in that contest. So that'll be next week's game. We'll talk about that more here in a moment. But the last piece of business, guys, we need to tend to tonight. Break, whereas we were kind of discussing, that made the point that in theory, the way this offensive line is set up and the way that we think this season is going to play out for that group, we could in theory give it to them every single week. So with that in mind, I thought Steve's suggestion was great. Daniel O'Connor, the senior linebacker who got his first real start. He did get a couple of spot starts as a sophomore, and actually, coincidentally, he started a couple games as a sophomore mid-season after Tyson Garrett, who started also as a sophomore, broke his ankle in the
That's right.
in the Franklin Central game.
Forgot about that.
And then they kind of moved some players around, and O'Connor became then more of a special teams guy the rest of the sophomore year. Did not start a game last year. So this is really his first big-time opportunity. And Steve, it was you that brought it up, and you had as good a look at him tonight as any from the field level. What did you see?
Well, he didn't miss a tackle. I mean, he was all over the field and just made some great effort plays all the way to the sideline where he's tripping guys up at the last second. And when they were running in between the tackles, he was filling the holes right now.
Yep. High motor guy, and you love to have a high motor guy. You like to have 11 high motor guys if you can as a defensive coach, but especially out of your linebacker, because that position is set up to be able to go sideline to sideline. And if your defensive linemen are doing their jobs, keeping those guys from getting up to linebacker level, and the linebackers are flowing quickly, they don't get blocked, and they can get out there. You don't always get that. It's a tough position to play, and Daniel O'Connor we were calling him all night long.
And he's a great leader. Tyson Garrett, the other inside linebacker, is a little more quiet.
Yeah.
But Daniel's more vocal, and you can tell the kids really respect him, and Tyson Garrett as well, obviously. But I think Daniel was more the vocal leader tonight, and probably will be throughout the season. But played a great game tonight.
Well, he comes from a football family, and I had the chance to talk to Daniel a couple times this summer, and every time you talk to him, it was like he was jumping out his skin to talk football.
Yeah.
And to sit with a high school kid, sometimes you got, even the guys that we watch, you got to prod them to talk. Not Daniel.
Yeah.
He can tell a story. He gets that from Grandpa probably. But, I just love talking to him because of his excitement and the joy of playing the game that came out of him during those conversations. And then to see it come out tonight, in live action was a lot of fun.
He and his dad picked up a treadmill at my house on a Sunday in February, and he stood in my driveway wanting to talk football. That's how excited he was to get going for this season. And so Daniel O'Connor, the senior linebacker, number 53, he is tonight's Ortho Indy South star of the game. So, fellas, we turn our attention to next week. Franklin Central, the opponent. The Flashes coming off a 3-win season last year. I believe it was a 3-win season. I'm doing that from memory, but I believe they were 3-7 last year. Franklin Central being coached by Jason West in his first year. Now, Jason West, there's only 3 coaches in the state of Indiana active that have more state championships than Jason West. He has 3, one at Lawrence Central and 2 at Warren. So the guy clearly is a big-time coach, and I don't think anybody that follows high school football in the South Side has any doubts that he's going to get that thing going in a positive direction. Now, it may take him a few years to get it where the expectations would match where he wants it to be, however.
Yes, and his poor record last year, and I will argue with anybody on that. Now, you've got the Mick, obviously, that has everybody.
You're talking about his poor record at Warren?
No, well, the Franklin Central.
Oh, yeah, okay, yes.
The record they had last year.
Yes.
they are playing Brownsburg, Zionsville, Noblesville, Avon. I mean, Hamilton Southeastern. To me, they're playing in the toughest conference outside the MIC in the state of Indiana.
It's the toughest. The HCC is the second toughest conference in the state.
And so
in their out-of-conference game, Roncalli.
And
exactly.
So their schedule
and they're
is
in Center Grove sectional.
Yes, they're brutal. And so I mean, he's got a big mountain to climb, but because they are going against the best teams in the state week after week after week, and it's going to. But I think the team, they responded last year, even though the record didn't show it. And I think you got to be careful with a team like that, because you can look at last year's score. They returned most of their offensive line. They got a running back that's really good. Tavian Jordan returns.
Yep.
They are a dangerous team that Roncalli has to look out for, because they are in a big conference. They're going to bring a fight because of what they have to experience after Roncalli. If they're going to have any success. And I know their goal is to have success.
Well, and here's what will be interesting. We'll get the stats sometime this weekend, and I know both of you guys will watch the film from their game against Perry tonight. Franklin Central started a freshman quarterback tonight.
Did they really?
They did. They started a freshman quarterback tonight. So it'll
Okay.
be interesting to see on film, how did he play against Perry Meridian, and then how does he look next week against a defense that we thought tonight looked tremendous.
The other thing I'll say about that game tonight, I rode by Perry Meridian, about 4 o'clock. There were fans out in the parking lot ready for that game. The band was out playing already. There was excitement at Perry Meridian High School for football, which we wouldn't expect it out of a 1-9 team or whatever. So the atmosphere might have taken Franklin Central out of their game a little by shock. And then now if they came back and win that game, that's a sign that, okay, they can overcome whatever they went over. Freshman quarterback, hostile crowd, all that stuff. If they come back and get that win, that's a big win for them. And they'll come in hot, expecting to have that target on Roncalli's back and go after Roncalli.
Well, if they're starting a freshman quarterback next week, Rhodey's going to come after him. He's going to dial up some serious pressure on that kid.
I'm going to go ahead and say, even if they start a junior quarterback, Rhodey's beating the house at him. It doesn't matter.
Well, we will have that game for you next week. That'll be an audio only. No video for us next week. We'll be on the audio only. You can listen to the game on CBS Sports 1430 here in Central Indiana, or online, or you can listen online via the audio stream on RoncalliMediaNetwork.com. Usual start time, 6:30 the pregame show, 7 o'clock the kick. All four of us will be with you next week. We hope you can join us next Friday for that one. Guys, some final thoughts on tonight's game.
I mean, you check box number one.
Yep.
Roncalli did everything they needed to do. Coach saw some things that he wants to improve on, so you got some work to do. And it's scary to think that if today was in the coach's mind a questionable game because of the mistakes, that's a pretty big victory for a questionable game. So, good things to come out of Roncalli. And I love that the coaching staff is taking it serious and saying, hey, it was a great game, but we do have some areas we've got to improve on. Again, I love that we had so many running backs getting involved in the game. I love the read option. And the big question mark I had coming into the game, what's defense going to do? They answered the question, I think, that everyone was kind of wondering, what can that defense do? And they came up and made plays. And we talked about in the postgame show that, even some of the yards that Southport was able to get, some of the passes they were to, Roncalli was there to make the plays, just kind of missed it by a bad jump, mistimed jump, or a hand in the wrong place. You fix those kind of things, and it's lights out at that point.
Yeah, and Roncalli was just dominant tonight. There's just no other way to put it. And we got another challenge next week. I know there's all the hype around the Roncalli offensive line, and the recruiting process for them. It's exciting. It's awesome. They love it. But at some point, you get tired of practicing. You get tired of going to camps. You want to play games. And finally, they were able to do that tonight. And I think their excitement, you can see the result on the scoreboard.
Yep.
Well, again, hope you can join us next Friday night, 6:30, our pregame, 7 o'clock, our kick time from Franklin Central. We hope you can join us. We appreciate you being with us tonight. We want to thank our fine crew that did a great job bringing you all the pictures and sounds of tonight's game. On the video side, Ethan Gorski was our director. Hannah Taylor handled our graphics. Abby Taylor, Ben Taylor, and Aiden Griffiths were on the camera. Stefan Welsh is our executive producer on the video side. David Kahn, our studio producer on the audio side tonight up at our CBS Sports 1430 flagship on the north side. Dan Schultz, our technical director here on the network, and Matt Donovan doing a great job for us on the stats and the postgame tonight. For my partner, Steve Wilson, Dan Bauer, I'm Rob Brown. Again, our final tonight from the stadium. Roncalli opens up the season with a 55-7 win over Southport. Till we talk to you next week. And one final broadcast note, be sure to join us for soccer tomorrow, 12:30 on the Roncalli YouTube channel. The girls take on Columbus East. You can watch that on the Roncalli YouTube channel, 12:30 the kick. Hope you can step in for that one. Otherwise, we'll talk to you next